said with you, I put all you above and me. It was killing me to love on you. I put all this on my life. If I could, wouldn't do it twice. Not even for dollar signs. I don't play around with your kind. We've been through too much, but I don't speak on that. So much pain, but I don't trip on that. We knew it was over, but you got a kick out of seeing my tears on your shoulder. How? Look, why don't you leave? Don't you leave? Why don't you leave?
And just like that, why won't you leave? Pack your things and go. Yo, what's going on, y'all? What's good with you, though? You have just tuned in to the place where you need to be tonight. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. And you already see my girl is back. I got to shout my girl out, J to the B on Spit Dorks.
Hello, everyone.
Yes. It is so good to have you back in the building.
Yes,
yes. Come on. I know everybody that loves sports. It's like she is there tonight. Yes. Pastor Didi will not be giving her take on what sports is.
Now that was fun,
yes.
Somebody did win and somebody did lose.
Come on, you already know what it is. And then you already know my Coco sister's back in the building. Chi. The superstar. What up with you, though?
What up? We
all
in
right.
here.
Yeah, we in here tonight. Pam's World. Tell somebody to tell somebody. What I need for y'all to do at the top of the hour right now is let somebody know that Pam's World is on. It feels amazing to be in your face. And yes. I know y'all probably like, what Pastor? Y'all already know Pastor has a lot that God is doing with her. And, so Chi says she's going to be in her stead on tonight.
Sitting there for you, Pastor Didi.
So yeah. So tonight, don't shy away from the question, because you might get asked, what will Chi say?
Yes.
You better be ready. Come on, you better be ready, because the Holy Spirit be all over Pastor. It's just I'll be asking her some stuff. She be like, all right, guys. She caught me off guard with that one. So.
Look, I'm ready.
Yeah, all right.
I'll give you an answer.
All right.
You'll have an answer. You absolutely will get an answer.
Come on, somebody. Come on. All right, y'all. Y'all tuned into the right place. Pam's World tonight. And we going to be on fire in the building. And, of course, tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody else that we are on tonight. I'm looking forward to an amazing show. I have some amazing women that I am on this panel with on tonight. And, so y'all already know how I go. For those who watch Pam's World, and, everybody always say, Pam, well, is this a gospel show? And I always say no. And then, of course, you know what? We live the gospel. So it's who you are is what's going to come out of you. So listen, at the end of the day, people put labels on a whole bunch of things. You can label it whatever it is that you want, but you cannot deny the fact that God is definitely in the building. So you can say half secular, but that's not my character, though. That's just the show. Because you can't have one foot in the world and the other foot in the church. That's another topic, JB. That sounds, Chi-Chi, that sounds very familiar, right?
Oh, yeah.
Who remembers going to church and then trying to hurry up and get out before the liquor store closed?
That was just last week. We playing.
Come on. That hand went up quick. That hand went up quick. Who spent the night at their boyfriend's house the night before?
Oh, Chaffetz.
And went to church the next day. Was that your story, or is it still your story?
You gotta look at the camera like
somebody who is the one that's saying that they gotta wear the lace panties in the bra when they go see their friend. That's just my friend, and I'm going. Why are you putting on Victoria's Secret smell goods with lace panties with the matching bra and to go with the panties, and you in the mirror posted up?
Jesus.
Yeah, where we going?
But you going to church?
Yes, God.
You starting off good on a Sunday
what I
night.
said.
Somebody
Yes.
needs to know that ain't.
This that Memorial
God.
Day weekend.
Come
talk
on,
right there.
that this somebody needs to know that
The Memorial talk right
is
here.
not God. You know what, and it segues me right into what the man of God. Did you go to church today? What the man of God preached, right? He began to talk about just being obedient to God. You know what I mean? And hey, Augustus, love you, cuz. You know what? He talked about being obedient to God, and I think sometimes. We really think because we are in the house of God that we are obedient to God. You know what I mean, JB? I think a lot of us like, yo, well, I made it to church. God is like, well, if you gonna sin, you might as well stay home and do you. Because I don't even, it's just like that stinks in the nose of God when we play, when we're playing. He said, I'd rather you be hot or cold. Because if you lukewarm, I'll spew you out of my mouth. So at the end of the day, it's just like, yo, we not fooling nobody. We playing with God. And the man of God talked about radical obedience. And he talked about this one lady, right? The Lord had told her to give $1,000. And if she gave $1,000, something was going to happen. I can't remember the something, right?
She was going to get a mobile, like a mobile church.
Yeah, there it is.
Home,
yes, JB. She's going to get this, right? And she's like, oh, okay, I'm going to give $2,000, and that means I'm going to get two. God said, no,
greedy.
not so. God said if she was to give the two, she wasn't going to get anything because she was not obedient because God said 1,000. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like he just started talking about just the obedience. It's just like, and he was just, I look at that and I could just, I'll use myself as an example. He talked about how when he said the big sins, he said all sin is not fornication and adultery and all of those things, sleeping around. But he said when God tells you to do something and you don't do it,
that's a sin.
He said it's sin.
Yep.
Because you're not being obedient to God. And I was just like, wow. And he was just talking about righteousness. Sometimes we think that, well, I ain't got, I ain't out there because you came in here, you was playing around. You talked about crack, right? And so at the end of the day. I
just want to say that on the camera. They didn't hear the whole story.
They don't hear the whole story.
No, she ain't on crack. She was talking, we was having a conversation and she was just cutting up her hair. She's like, she made a comment about
it's all right, Pam.
Crack,
you already
what I mean?
You already cooked.
Yes.
But for the most part, at the end of the day, we look at all of those things. Oh, they sinning, they sleeping around, and they doing this and they doing that. But God told you to write the book. He said God told you, you know what I mean? God told you to give $50. And here you go in your pocket and you done gave $150. Yep. God ain't tell you that. He was just like, it's basically like you saying to God, like, I know more than you. Like, I know more than you, God.
Whether you got that capitalism spirit,
Come
you
on.
trying to capitalize. Okay, well, if you want to do this, maybe if I enhance it, I'll do a little bit more. Yeah. You'll give me more.
Jesus.
And that's not what he's talking about. So that greed is kicking in with
Come
that.
on.
Exactly.
Outside of obedience, it's also that greed. Okay, God, well, you know what? Maybe I can get this. And now it's that genie in a bottle thing.
My God.
No good.
Come
no
on.
Good, 'cause that's not obedience. That's disobedience.
Yes,
exactly.
it is.
You know what I'm saying? The spirit of greed, I believe. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that cancels out your blessing. You know what I'm saying? So can't be both.
You can't do both.
Can't be both.
JB, I'm going to ask you because I missed your voice. I need to know, and y'all already know because JB, they love when JB go in. JB goes in. Shout out to Songbird C. I love you. I seen your name pop up. I love your spirit. You are something else. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see what God does with you. You are an awesome woman of God. JB, talk to me tonight.
Thanks. Yeah,
in the name of Jesus.
The man of God,
come on.
He definitely talked about obedience, but he talked about it in a way that was very different. Like, so like all these people who think they're born again and saved, and it's like that's just saying you're born again, saying you saved. That's just not it. It's more than that. And he talked about quite a few things, but one of the things to piggyback on what you were saying about the part where if God told you to do something and you do anything other than that, that's a sin.
Yes.
But also too, he went into like, it's also like lack of faith and lack of trust.
Come on, JB.
Because if you can't be obedient to God, and the way he defined it, it's different. Everybody, you know, the definition of faith was like the absence of things not seen.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But he was like, really, it's obedience.
Yes.
Because when you're obedient, you're showing that you have faith in what God can do and what he says he's going to do and in his promises. Jesus. And when you don't have faith, when you don't trust, then you're pretty much telling God that, you know, you don't trust him. You don't believe in him. You don't believe that what his word is true. You believe that he's a liar.
Yes.
And he didn't say it in those words, but that's basically what he was saying.
Yes.
It's like, you know, obedience is the start of it all.
Yep.
You know, and it's like, if you're not obedient, then there's no faith, there is no trust.
Yes.
Then what are you doing?
Yes.
And the way he said that it's like you couldn't be in that service and not question your walk.
Right.
You know what I mean? No matter where you are.
Come on, JB.
No matter
you
where
better
you are
say
in
that.
God,
yes.
you couldn't, because there was things that you probably told God, I don't really want to do this. I really don't want to do that.
Come on.
Or, you know, like, God, I'll give you 2 hours. I know you asked for 3, but 2 hours is all I can spare. And then, you know what? You might as well kept your 2 hours because you really didn't do what it is that he called you to do. Yep. So you're disobedient. And the way he explained it is like, you could not, like I said, you could not be there and not realize that there was some shifting and changes that you probably needed to make in your life.
Come on.
Because we should not operate. We say we have faith. We say we trust. But then how many of us go out and try to do things in our own strength?
Right.
How many of us go out and try to come up with a contingency plan in case God don't do it?
Jesus.
And that's pretty much what he was saying. It's like, we don't have faith, we don't trust, then what are we doing here?
Yes, JB.
How are we walking and calling ourselves, you know, saved, sanctified Christians, and we're not doing the bare minimum that is required of us?
Right.
And so to me, the service was off the chain.
Yes.
It was crazy. And
Jesus.
there were a lot of things that I took back from it. And on top of that, you know, he personally prophesied to various people. I need to take giant steps now.
Come on.
No more baby steps. I got to take giant steps.
JB. Come on.
So, you know, we're going to see you. I guarantee with these giant steps, there will be a change in myself. And, you know, maybe something that'll be evident for everyone to see, but I know definitely, even just today alone, there's been some shifting and some changing from you know, just a few hours ago.
Yes, JB.
So the service was great, and I hope everybody had that type of experience, because if you're not, like we say this every time we on, if you're not changing, you're not growing, then what are you going to church for? You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to grow. There's supposed to be a difference. You should not go in the same. You know, you should leave differently. You should have learned something. You should have gained something. You should have, you know, even if it was just a testimony or a praise, there should be something different every time you come before God. Right. You know, that's so good, that's pretty much what today was about for me.
Yes. Yo, I just, God is just amazing, and he is good. And you know, Chi-Chi, being at you in a different house, but the same family.
Yes, new life.
What I'm
absolutely,
Come on,
absolutely.
Come on.
We all new life up here.
Yes,
new life,
come
just
on,
different new life.
Yes, yes. What was church about? A shout out to Pastor Didi. I looked up, I seen my girl on there. I seen our girl up on there, because she ain't just my girl. That's our girl, and I seen her. I had to shout her out. We miss you tonight, and we love you. Yeah. Chi-Chi. All right. So come on, tell us about church today. You know what I mean?
Well, church was dope. I had to leave early. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't see the sermon part. I did go though. I had my cousin's graduation situation I had to go to, but it was the beginning of Men's Week, and shout out to Associate Pastor Brian Randolph. He was preaching and bringing the word today. I didn't have the opportunity to hear it, but like I said, you know, the Spirit of God was up in there. We had an awesome, you know, praise and worship, you know, testimonies and everything that went forth powerful about, you know, how God is just, you know, God has been a constant factor in everyone's life, and you know, through and it's, you know, things tie together. You know what I'm saying? Through being faithful and being obedient to God, you know, you have seen the shift and the change in life. And I just want to say a comment to what y'all was talking about with the faith too, because y'all, anybody who knows me know I'm heavy on faith. Like, you know, really, I trust God. I believe God. Like, I promise you, and I try my best to really believe unswervingly. And, you know, when God tells you to do something, you know, it's key. A lot of people feel like, okay, well, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I've confessed with my mouth. I believe in my heart, and I'm good. but it's so much more. You know what I'm saying?
Much.
It's like you can be living in God for God's purpose, or you can simply be existing. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
And it's like I don't want to exist. You know what I'm saying? I want to grow in faith. I want to grow from faith to faith, become stronger, fulfill my purpose in God, and not just take advantage of, okay, well, let me just try to slide my way into heaven and do the bare minimum. Right. You know what I'm saying? And not really be used to my full functionality while I'm here on earth, because that's what God desires. It's bigger than me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? My faith and the things that I have faith in affect more than me.
Yeah.
You know, I think sometimes, when I was younger, you just think, oh, I got faith for God to fix the things that are going wrong in my life. You know what I'm saying? Or to heal what I needed healed. You know what I'm saying? But man, my faith is that God is going to do this for everybody. My faith is that God is going to allow me to bless people that's going to, ignite a fire in them that's going to set off another ministry or something, inspire somebody else,
Yes.
So it's like in growing from faith to faith, you realize that your existence is not just for yourself, or your blessings, and it's not just for yourself. That's man, we're here for one another.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's even more humbling. It's like, God, that's more of a reason for me to humble myself and play my part. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to steal heaven for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm not in line, and if I'm not in order and doing the things that I'm doing, I'm not going to connect and hit the people that God intended for me to hit. You know what I'm saying? That's lined up. So I'm still in their opportunity. I'm still in their blessing.
Yes.
Still in heaven, so to speak, for them. So I mean, in all of this, like I said, when it's all said and done, I just want to please God. I want God to be pleased with the life that I've lived, with the decisions that I've made, and I want to be obedient to His word. So when it's all said and done,
come on,
I don't get disqualified.
You can hear it. Come on, Chi-Chi.
So.
And you said something that Pastor Copeland, shout out to Pastor Copeland and the entire Copeland family, St. Mark's family as well. Mm-hmm. God is just so good. That man of God said today, he talked about Adam. And he talked about when Adam sinned, he said that it hit all of us. And he began to talk, he said rebellion. It's just like rebellion hit every last one of us. He said when God created Adam, he made him, he said he was like God's ghost. He was the phantom of like God's ghost, right? He said, so when he walked on the grass, if the grass could talk, he said, God is walking on me. He said that if he put his hand in the water would say that God just splashed me. You know what I mean? So it was just like, so what happened was that when he sinned, it hit all of us. So we are a replica of what it is that Adam did. So basically, I took that for my own life. And amen, get yourself together.
Get it, Pam'S Jammer. Get it. Get it, Pam'S Jammer.
Yo, I promise you, it hit me in a way to where it was just like, I was just like, dang. It make you say like, yo, like, if I didn't know then, I know now that I better tighten up even the more in every area of my life, because what I do, like you just said, can steal something from somebody else.
Absolutely.
And
That's
then
real.
I'm going to be held accountable for that.
Blood on your hands.
The blood is going to be on my hands. And yet, and also that one person that, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Going to be jacked up too.
Oh, yeah.
But me, even the more.
Yeah. I felt Pastor Copeland really did. He drove that point home very good with the demonstration he did at Adam. But, I thought about it like that in the sense of every decision and choice that we make can affect people. But, we kind of subconsciously already knew that. You know how, like, the things we don't do, like if you're supposed to pray, testify, whatever, you're supposed to don't, whatever you're supposed to do, the thing you don't do, somebody is missing out.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like if you're supposed to go a place, there could have been someone that was destined to meet you or destined for you to bless. You know what I'm trying to say? You never know. So for a long time, like when well, I don't know how long, but but for a while, when God has told me to do something, if I haven't done it, I felt a way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what didn't I do? Like, what am I going through now that I could have been avoided if I would have just listened? Not to say that you can't get back on that path, but there is a consequence to not doing what it is that He has called you to do.
Absolutely.
It may now take you 6 years and it could have taken you 2.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And now, now you can go, let's say somebody, the whole destined was about to be married. They wanted to be married. And if they did everything that God was told them to do, they might be married.
Right.
But now they got to go through a season of loneliness because they weren't where they were supposed to do, or they didn't do what they were supposed to do. Yeah. And so when he was doing the example of Adam, you just think about how that one decision or that one choice changed the projection of all of our lives.
Yep.
And we're no different.
Yeah,
right.
There's someone here that we were destined to touch, do, or bless, that our one choice or decision is causing an issue. It's a ripple effect. How many people are we affecting?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is something that when he said that, I mean, the fact that you brought that up was cool, but even when he said that just, it just really kind of messed me up.
Yes,
because it's true. Like, what decisions did I do or make that caused my son to do or be the person that he is? He could have been here or could have been there. What did I do? And there's plenty of things that I go back. I was like, you didn't do this, you didn't do this. But it's not about that now. I can't change those things.
JB,
but what can I do
now?
My new prayer is like, what can I do to improve the situation? What can I do to get back in your where you would have me to be? Because I think sometimes we let ourselves off the hook where, God, we sorry. And we think that's it.
And that's good enough.
Yeah, that's not good enough. I mean, don't get twisted. It's a start.
Right.
But, it's not good enough. There's so much more that we need to be able to do and get ourselves to. And we won't be able to rectify everything that we didn't do.
Right.
But we can't worry about that anymore because we can't change the past, But,
I just want to say this, too. Like, somebody gave an example of, imagine if, and just to kind of like make it a little visual, right? Imagine like you playing follow the leader, right? God is in front, right? And you following God. And as you move or whatever, like just like we move through our life and our journey and stuff, different things will distract you to take you off path, right? And so let's say you over here, okay, this dude look good, let me go over there, get a little sex, a little drugs or whatever, da-da-da-da. The thing that people fail to realize is that God is still moving. He don't stop when we stop.
Come on.
So now what happens is when I detour, and God is still going, it's not that I can't get back on track. But when I get back on track, right? When I get back on track, I got to run so much harder to catch up to God, to keep up, to try to get back to my place, that now I bypass all the blessings, all the different things that he meant for me to enjoy and experience along the way. That's the thing that happens when we step out of line with God. You know what I'm saying? It's not that we can't get back, but to your point, you compromise so much, you miss out on so much, and was the detour even worth it?
And then you come back with baggage.
Necessary?
Come on.
Right, you come back with baggage
stuff,
and stuff,
you're emotional now, you got problems, somebody look at you wrong, you're ready to cry. It's like you're dealing with things that you didn't have to deal with. And so that point, that I love that analogy. I definitely love that.
Come on.
That's real.
Because it's very visible.
God is moving.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. God is moving. I think sometimes we become a little complacent when things are good in life or things are going, kind of okay. We just like, oh man, God is good. We just coasting and I could take a break. God like, nah, ain't no breaks. There's things I got to get done. We still moving. The enemy will allow you to think that it's okay to take a break. Think about it. Because he don't take no break. He'll make you feel like it's okay to take a break. He attacking you in your sleep. He attacking you each and every second of the day. You know what I'm saying? So why do you feel like, okay, I could just let my guard down now and just open yourself up for attack? God is still moving. We got to keep up. And once we adapt that train of thought, that frame of mind, that I God is so important for me to be close to you. I can't allow nobody to come between us. I can't allow myself to get that space and that distance between us, because that connection with you is so important. You think about I think about the woman with the issue of blood and how it was just like, whatever she had to do to get to him there in that crowd, you know what I'm saying? If she had to knock people out of the way, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like her desire was so strong. That's all. If I could just touch the hem of his garment, if I could just get that close, if I could just, I know that's what I need. If we walked around with that, if I could just get a little closer to God, if I could just get, you know what I'm saying? Imagine, to your point, like you said again earlier, imagine the things that would happen in our lives as a result. You know what I'm saying? And think about the things that we don't even know that we compromise when we step out of line with God. We don't even know. We don't even know the fullness of it. You know what I'm saying? So, just things to ponder, y'all. Things to think about.
Definitely. and things to grow toward. Because
good, man.
God
is good, man.
Definitely. Things to grow toward.
Come on. And yes, JB, I'm like, get yourself together today. Every time I go to talk, I seem like I'm about to break.
Let it out, girl.
That's
JB,
right. Let it go.
I just so happened to look up and I seen #growth. What you put up. And it's just like, it's so beautiful to know when you know it for yourself that you are growing in God.
Yep,
that's absolutely one of the most beautiful things, and that's what God wants. He wants us to mature. He never said for us to be perfect. He never said, and perfection on our behalf in the Bible is maturity, is what I've learned. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, JB, that I used to aim for. Was perfection.
Yep.
And I kept busting myself up against God. It's like I'm not even gonna say I think God kept busting me up outside the wall and kept saying, see, I'm going to keep making you hit the wall like this because you'll never be perfect. Yeah. I want you to realize that you'll never be perfect because I didn't ask you for perfection because I know that you can't do it. But I told you, thank you, Holy Spirit, to follow perfection, and which is himself. You know what I mean? And so I thank God for what you put up because, just that word alone, to be able to see that in yourself, to see the growth. It's just like, it's almost like you begin to say to yourself, I can't do it.
Yeah, but
I can.
Very true.
Yep. You know what I mean? I can really walk the way God wants me to. I really can be holy. You know what I mean? The way that God says to. You know, the Bible doesn't become this foreign book to you no more. It's not something that you like, yo, I can't do this. Right. You can do it. Yeah. Because he said you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. You really can do it. Yep. But you got to do it like Pastor Copeland said, every morning. You got to do it every morning. You got to make the decision every morning to be obedient. Yes. Every morning to make the decision. Yes. It's a decision. So I give God, I promise you, I give God praise. It's just,
It's definitely a decision. It's definitely a decision.
Thank you, God.
And, you know, as long as we stay connected to him, we can grow. You know what I mean? Yes. You know, it's all about being connected to the right source, being connected to the right people, being planted in the right vineyard, right? And then you can grow.
And then you gotta want to grow.
But see, that's the thing.
You want to grow.
I was thinking about Pastor Trina Taylor had preached a sermon one time, and she talked about counterfeit blessings. And I never heard that comment before. But you know how when you were just saying, Chi, about being complacent and being comfortable where you are, and that's the enemy getting you content with what you think is your success. Right. And God has so much more for you, but you're so afraid to move past it. You're so afraid to grow. You want to stay right where you are. And you have like you think about like a kid trying to stay in kid clothes. And, you know what I mean? Like but that's how people dress now. Yeah, really good. These dudes be wearing these high work pants, these tight shirts.
Still in that baby gap. Let that baby gap go.
But you get what I'm saying? It's like you want to you like your stuff so much you don't want to go to the next size. You don't want to go to the next thing. And so when Pastor Trina Taylor preached that about counterfeit blessings, that's always been something that stuck with me. Never to get so comfortable with what I have, no matter how good it looks.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes people only want to move when things is bad. Yep. People only want to move when things is tough. Oh, things are so bad. I got to get past this. Yep. I got to push past. Yeah. But people don't want to push past when they thinking things are great. Yeah. You know what I mean? Stay. But I want, I'm at that point now where I want to push past. I want to do more. I want to be great. I want to be everything he wants me to be. I don't want to get so comfortable with where I am that I'm just content, like I don't see myself being anything more. And that's how the enemy kind of tricks us. Well, not us, because we see through you.
That's right. We see you. We see you, devil.
But we see you, devil. But that's how he gets people. He gets them to think that they've arrived, that they better than people, or that that they got it all together, and then have people have a sense of that they are perfect. And one of I watched this one show. I have one vice. I do love this one show called This Is Us. But in the show, he makes a comment about being perfectly imperfect. And that's what it's about.
Oh yeah.
I am perfectly imperfect. And I'm striving for perfection. And if you're striving for perfection, that means you're always looking to be better. You're always looking to grow. You're always looking to improve. You're never comfortable with where you are. And that's everything about Christ. Like that's how we should live every day.
Yeah.
And if you do that, I don't really see how you can really get too much off course.
Right. Yes, well, you know what, too? I want to say this, too, and I just want this to be an encouragement to some people. You know, some people, even in that, they have the desire to do more in God. They really, their heart is in the right place, but they don't want the accountability that comes with stepping up. They don't want the pressure. And that will hinder people from moving forward too. It's not always just, well, I'm complacent, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, God, I really don't want that extra responsibility. Jesus. I love you. I want to do more. I want to be used mightily, but now I got to compromise my comfort zone a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want I don't want others to hold me accountable to the standard that you're now going to, you know, put me to. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I had a conversation with a friend of mine about that. I'm talking about strong in God. Just you know, the gifts are there. You know what I'm saying? Like the talent, you know, and God desires to use them. You know what I'm saying? But won't, you know, really go to the next level because they don't want the accountability. They don't want the responsibility. Because it's easier, you know, to stay where you at, to again be comfortable with, you know, oh, I feel like I've achieved success. I feel like I'm good right here, and you know, if God don't do anything else for me, I'm good. That's a cop out, especially when you know that God is calling you to greater.
But then that's also a sin.
That's a cop out.
Nowadays, today we learned that is, and you know, in our service today, that's a sin. And I didn't think of it that way. You know what I mean? Even though you're not actively sinning, but if God is calling you, why would He give you all of this to keep it to yourself?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? If you can prophesy and heal the sick, if you ain't prophesying and healing the sick, then what are you doing with God's gifts?
Jesus.
You know what I mean? And then are you really being obedient to what He has for you? And then that's when you get in. That's when you call in the question. And, you know, like, all right, am I really living for you, God? Am I really doing what you call me to do? Because I know for Joyce would be very happy doing nothing.
Right, come on, JB.
I'm being
very happy.
I'm being very honest. Like, you know what I mean?
Come on, JB.
You know what I mean?
Come on.
But I also know that if God has called me to do something, if I don't do it, then what am I doing here? I might as well stay home. I might as well not be here.
You just
but
existing.
also too, I'm not growing anymore. If I put a cap on myself, if I just say, look, I'm not going past this. I'm not, because I tried. I was like, I'm not preaching. We went plenty of places. And people was prophesying, you got a word in your mouth. And I'd be like, yeah, okay, that woman is crazy. I go to the next service, that woman crazy too. You know. But then after a while, everybody can't be crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then when I know that God is telling me something a little different, things are hitting me weird. Like I'm feeling away. I'm being called out everywhere I go.
Right.
And then at a point, it's like, I either going to say, yes, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to say no. And if I say no, I put a cap on myself. Right? And I'm not growing anymore.
Right.
I stifled myself. I'm going to be forever here. Now, I could be okay with that, and I probably still could get into heaven because I'm not actively sinning. I'm not living a sinful lifestyle, but I'm not doing what God has called me to do.
That's like you being on the team. You're not in the starting lineup. You on the bench. Everybody else working hard to get the championship, and you get a ring.
That's right.
But you ain't really
getting that.
You know what I'm saying? You just coming along for the ride. You getting it by default because you on the team. You scored no points, played no defense, or whatever. That's the blessing in it too.
That could be.
But that's also take advantage. You know what I'm saying? Like it is a blessing that, you know, your blessing came from being in the atmosphere, being connected. That's a blessing. But also, you know, I'm pretty sure you know your role was to do more.
Amen.
And you know, how come you didn't step up more? How come you didn't contribute more? You know what I'm saying? Like you were meant to.
But
do
how
more.
many people got left behind or missed out on because you didn't do what you were supposed to do? And then and like you said earlier, their blood would be on your hands, and you might not know everybody's blood is on your hands, but God does.
God does.
So and that's the piece where I started to be like, okay. I gotta say, I gotta do, and I gotta be who God is calling me to be.
Right.
And I gotta work out whatever it is I need to work out. And also, too, even if it's just to show people that it's possible.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Even if it's just to show people, yes, hold me accountable. I should be holding myself accountable.
Right.
Like I should be, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like I should be accountable to what God is calling me to do, right? So for some of us, we don't want to be held accountable because sometimes we're doing things that we don't really want people to call us on. You know what I mean? Consciously or subconsciously.
Right.
You know, because plenty of pastors, once they get into the limelight or once they get to whatever, something comes out, right? And then everybody, oh my God, they're a pastor. Now, granted, we all should be held to the same standard, right?
Right.
But we know, oh my God, they're a pastor. But I mean, they should hold themselves to a standard. We should hold ourselves to that same standard.
Right.
So some of us, we're not us, like I said, but some people, they're holding pastors to a standard that they don't hold themselves to.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're holding ministers to a standard that they don't hold themselves to.
Right.
They're only doing it so they can, you know, kind of like, that's why I don't do this. That's why I don't do that. That's why I don't go to church. You should.
So that's another cop out.
Yeah, that's another cop out.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. People
Church
have
is
to be
full of
very
imperfect
mindful
people.
of that. but
You know
it's
what I'm saying?
supposed
Nobody's
to.
perfect. Just because you go to church don't make you perfect.
Right.
We all here trying to work out our soul salvation. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
God.
People have that thought that, okay, well, you're supposed to be perfect because you're in church.
But
Nah.
make sure you working out your soul salvation.
Yes, God.
Facts.
Because some people ain't working it
Right.
at all.
That's facts. That's
But
facts.
my thing is, don't waste your time.
Yeah.
I used
Yeah.
to tell people all
Jesus,
the time, like,
don't.
look, if I'm going to hell,
Jesus.
I am not going to be in church.
I heard somebody
Right.
say with gasoline.
I'm just being
draws
honest.
on.
Gasoline draws. Yeah.
If
But you know what
going,
I'm trying to
you
say?
might
And
as
it's
well
like,
go all the way
why
out.
do half what
Jesus,
God has you
God.
to do?
Yeah.
And still end
mercy.
up in the same place if you did
Please,
nothing.
God,
Facts,
let it
you know
not
what I'm
be
saying?
so.
Don't play with it.
Yeah.
Go
No.
hard. Go hard in the paint.
Do
You
it.
know
What
what I'm saying?
the Joe
Go hard in the
Do it
paint.
expeditiously.
That's what I say.
You want to jump? Do it expeditiously.
Right? Speed it up, please.
Yo, listen. Lord have mercy.
Mm.
All right, y'all. Y'all already know. So we're going to shift a little bit. And did you go to church today? If you didn't go today, I pray to God that you definitely grab a hold to what it is that was said here, because God loved you that much to not to it's like repeating himself. It's like the echo of what went on in the house of God. So it's important. Please open up your ears and hear what the Spirit of God is saying. Amen. So all right, y'all, what we gonna do? We gonna shift a little bit. We gonna do what they call a roll call.
Roll call.
Somebody roll call, dog. All right, JB, who you got?
Okay, but who I saw Norm on. I saw
Hey,
Norm
Norm.
on. I see Jay. I see Tamsin. I see Stephanie. I see Florida's represented here. I saw Newark, New Jersey's represented.
Yes.
I see
Okay.
Brian. I see Kiki. Hey, Kiki.
Kiki.
I see I see Sunburst C. I
Come
see
on.
Kasha. Hey, Kasha.
Hey,
How you
Kasha.
doing?
Right.
How's it out there in Cali?
Yes.
I see Nadira's on. Kelly is on.
Yes.
I see myself. Yes, God. Yes, God. I saw Pastor Didi is on. I see
Yes.
Sheila is
Yes.
on. Who else? I see Drew. Hey, Drew.
Hey, Drew, what's up, bro?
How's it going? I
Yes.
see I see. I said Somber C. I see. That's about all I see on
Okay,
my
okay.
list.
I'm gonna run with Candace. I see Candace. Hey, Pooh. I love you, babe. All right. I see. You said Stephanie, Sheila. Oh, let's go, somebody. I'm still scrolling up. I see Tamika. Hey, Meek. I see Dwayne is on here. What's going on with you though? I see Dion is on here. Augustus is on here. Bianca is on here.
What up,
Kendra is on here.
Is he?
And let me go. I'm scrolling. Come on, Chi talk to
Sharif,
me
you
while
got
I'm
my man,
scrolling.
my brother Butcher Sharif. Cecily's in the building.
Yes, somebody.
That's right. Kane, Candy in the building, y'all.
Yes, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody in the building.
I see
Yes,
Casey
right.
in the building. Come on, y'all. Make sure that y'all share. Let somebody know Let somebody know and tell somebody to tell somebody that Pam's World is on right now. And we doing it. We up here doing it. And you know what? We're going to slide into some current events. And I got to pull some of this stuff up because it's first, you know what? I want to talk about the cop that shot. Thank you, Lord, for allowing this to come out. Thank you, Holy Spirit. The cop that shot the woman that tased him. I want to talk about that. And he killed her. He shot her 5 times. And it to me, it was disheartening. Like at the end of the day, granted, she should have never grabbed the joint. You know what I mean? The taser, whatever. But at any rate, she grabbing it did not warrant for her to get shot and killed. That dude opened up on her like pow, 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 pow. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And Pastor Didi and I had a conversation concerning this, and it was just like, I agree with what she said. She said he could have shot her, and he could have shot her in the foot, could have shot her in the leg. You know what I mean? Like boom. But what she said to me made a lot of sense, that he was embarrassed. You know what I mean? Like a woman got the joint from him and stung him with it. So now, you know what I mean, you all arrogant about you feel like a little boy or whatever. So now what you proving yourself? Like, yo, that dude opened up on her so many times that I was just like, man, he did not have to. I was like, yo, is she dead? Because at many times that he hit her with, I was like, yo, at first I was like, oh, shoot, she dead? That's crazy to me. Yeah. Like, I disagree, because I know that we got to go with the laws of the land and all of that stuff. I don't know what happened before, you know, the camera came on. But when it did come on and they was taping and all of this stuff, and it's just like they tussling around and all of that, like that's wrong. Like you gonna go to jail for tussling with the jokers, and I get it. You know what I mean? But for dude to open up on her like that, to me, it was disgusting. There's no other way that I can put it, for a lack of better words. You know, it was disgusting to me. Anybody got anything else?
I mean, it's like
JJ,
that's one of the joints. You just like, yo, oh my gosh, it's beyond disgusting. You know, I never thought about it from. I was just thinking about. You said he could have been embarrassed. I never thought about it. You know, like when you see something like that, you automatically go to hate crime. I go and
you got punked. You know I ain't no punk.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And I didn't even think about it like that. I'm just thinking about it like, man, I feel like that's like the vibe that they on. And I don't want to get too deep and too left about, you know, what I really feel like the you know, the police, not all, but some of them is kind of, you know, they can't do certain things to us overtly as they used to. I'm talking about going back to slavery, going back to all kind of whatever, racism, different things like that. So, you know, now they got different ways of trying to sneak in and really attack and control us. I mean, like, you know, like was it racially motivated? Was it just, you know, sexism motivated? Was it, you know, just hate? Is it like, okay, was he just embarrassed? Let me just go ahead and bust back. People looking, I got to do something. I can't, you know, go back and be the laughing stock, whatever, anything. And you just like, wow. What's crazy is that's a life. Yeah. Like to take life so easily. Yeah. Something's wrong with you being that comfortable to just boom, 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 boom.
Emptying on her. Like
and you good with it. Like that's crazy. It's something. I'm talking about these people killing each other. They killing us, and they killing other people too. They killing us, and it's just it seems so regular. Like they're just so desensitized now. Yeah. And I think even us as a people are desensitized to a degree. Because you see so many. Jesus. So it's like when you saw the first video, it was like, oh my gosh, yo. But now it's like you see it so much. Like somebody's like, yo, somebody, I don't even know who sent it. Somebody sent me a clip in my DM about the girl, you know, it was the girl walking or whatever, and she got knocked down, like whatever, and like kind of pushing back a little bit, and boom, and he, you know, opened up on her. And the comment that the person made was, I'm not even shocked. It wasn't, oh my gosh. Like we're witnessing a live death, like on YouTube. It used to be like that stuff was like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was sensitive. We're so desensitized to the craziness that it's allowing them to become more comfortable with getting crazier. Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he's just able to just bust at her like that, take her life so easily is that's troubling to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's troubling that we just watch it, and it's like our whole world is not stopped. I mean, you know, I'm sure we hurt, I'm sure we whatever, but you know what I'm saying? Like to really be like, yo, the world is changing. You know what I mean? And
evil days, the perilous times are on us, Cheech. You know? Yeah, it really is. Kasha made a comment. She said that they said she had mental health issues. You know, at the end of the day, it's just like to really almost empty your clip on this woman makes no sense to me, because it wasn't like she was coming at him. She just stung him. Right. Yeah. She stung him, JB. Well.
And then fear too.
She stepped out of pocket a lot. Mm-hmm. He did not have to. I felt like his force was excessive. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I felt like his force was excessive. Yeah. Right. I do feel like he was justified at least pulling his gun when she pulled his taser. Because what if she would have grabbed the gun? Mm-hmm. Right. You get what I'm saying? Right.
So that's a good point.
All I'm saying is that, yes, I felt like it was excessive. I felt like, especially after she yelled she was pregnant. Yes, she had mental issues. I read. I saw the altercation to some point. It wasn't like. It was like he just walked up and shot her. Right. You get what I'm saying? Right. There was a lot going on before that part got to that point. I felt like it was excessive. Right. Just like if this was somebody defending themselves, if you shot somebody 10 times, they would bring up charges. Even if you was in self-defense, that was excessive force. Definitely. You know what I mean? So I do feel like the cop, it was excessive. I do feel like he was embarrassed. Mm-hmm. I do feel like he would have been the laughing stock of the department. Jesus. You know, I do feel all of that. Oh. But I feel like it was excessive. But I do feel like something was warranted for what I saw. Wow. I just wish it wasn't that. And with her pulling the taser, he didn't have the taser to pull. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm trying to say? So I just assumed it would have been the gun, but to shoot her that many times, I didn't feel like was necessary.
That's definitely excessive. Yeah.
One time would have knocked her back. And when she started yelling she was pregnant, she was no longer a threat. Mm-hmm. And see, and that's the part that it was a lot harder for me to kind of watch. Yeah. But to your point, Chichi, it is true. There are a lot of cops who are not right, but there's a lot of cops who are. And you got a lot of people out here who are crazy and who do mean cops harm, and then you got a lot of people who don't. Mm-hmm. So just like we don't know the cops as all bad, they don't know the people who all sane. You know, so it is something that I feel like there definitely needs to be some form, some type of communicate. Something has to change. Because you're right. People are desensitized. No one's marching anymore because why does it bother? You do all this marching and people get off anyway. And these cases are not being publicized. You don't even know what's going on. They're not even being brought to trial. They're getting taken off in grand jury. So in grand jury, you don't even have a burden of proof that you have to prove. You just have to show that there was a crime. Right. So there is something being missed that we are not being told. You know what I mean? Yes. I mean, in Chicago just recently, they just made it illegal to film the police. So like in Chicago
of all places,
which there should be some places. There should be some filming going on. But it's now they passed a law where it's like illegal to film the police. And what's happening is that you have cops that are scared to do their job.
That's just a door opener for them to go haywire.
Yes, and so I do agree that there's something that needs to change, but I don't think it's just blanket hatred of cops, and I don't think it's blanket hatred of young black men. You know what I mean? There has to be some type of education, thought process, because we don't see it, but I've seen a couple of videos recently of white kids getting shot. I've seen a couple of videos of Spanish kids getting shot. So it's not just
Spanish kids is black kids. No,
well, but
they minority.
But what I'm saying is I've been seeing quite a few of all kinds of things happening. So it's and I've seen some cops that have done some very heroic things. I've seen some cops that didn't shoot when the person is acting a fool. You know what I mean? So I would love to see more of those things get published, but of course we only see the ones that are shooting black. Black unarmed or black. Those are the ones that tend to get.
See the white.
The airplay.
And I see all the white ones get off.
But I watched one where that did not happen, and I read some stories where that did not happen. And granted, they're more in the poorer white areas. You know what I mean? So maybe, they have the same kind of thought process of their value of their life.
Right.
But, I just think when we go that route of having a one blanket hatred for police, then you wind up cops getting shot. Right. And then that doesn't improve the situation because now you make cops more trigger happy. Now they're walking around ready to shoot because they feel like they're going to be shot. Like in Jersey City, like a couple years ago, you had somebody walking around hitting cops in the head with axes. You remember,
that's crazy.
It was so.
I do actually. That's crazy.
So it is. It is a crazy.
With an axe, where you getting all these axes from?
Yo,
first of all,
these axes from?
But y'all don't remember that?
No,
I do remember. I said, I had to think about it for a second. I do remember.
So it's not. It's not an ideal world for either side,
right?
And it's hard for me because my brother was a cop, and I know the type of cop my brother was. So for people to paint cops in one blanket way, it doesn't work for me because I know the type of cop my brother was, and I know people that are still on the force, and I know the type of cops that they are. So it's kind of, I really don't like that because it makes their job harder.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I know when they started off, a couple years ago, you remember if you get pulled over, like you speed or whatever, and it'd be one cop. Now you get pulled over, they got 2 or 3.
Yes.
So you feeling like, oh man, why y'all jumping me?
Yes.
But then the other flip side too is, their concern for their own protection has increased.
Definitely.
So that's support. And, that was told to me by a cop friend that I have, and it's like, it is true what you say. We have to find a balance in it because it's not all one. They have a right to protect their lives too. You know what I'm saying? They want to go back home to their families.
I wanted my brother to come back. I want my friends to come back. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to come back. And then when things go on with me, I want them to protect
right.
me. You get what I'm saying? So it's hard for us to say that because I've watched these and to your point, Chichi, I do believe that social media needs to really cut down on what they show.
Yeah.
Because it's becoming like, I'm almost afraid to allow my grandson to just play on the internet because of what gets shown.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen shootings, I've seen drive-bys, I've seen things. There was one person recently, maybe like last year, that his murder was live streamed. He was live streaming on Facebook when someone shot him.
Yeah, when somebody.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So and this is becoming commonplace.
Yeah.
And what happens is we censor somebody who writes we censor Farrakhan for words, or we censor other people for words, but we don't censor the people who are posting death.
Right. Because that's what gets them the streams up, and they become the number one streaming such and such.
Yeah, but
all of that stuff.
But it's insane.
Do y'all remember they had this movie where it was something about, it was like some kind of kill movie or something like that, and the guy they were like captured somebody or whatever and hooked them up to machines or whatever, and they linked it to the website. So the more people logged on, the faster it pushed the poison into the chamber to kill them. Do y'all remember that? So the whole thing was a rush to get people to go to this kill website. Like, that's crazy, y'all. There's something you said just made me think of that.
But no, but it's crazy. You know, you had what's that site where they had this crazy looking thing that was causing kids to commit suicide?
Wasn't that, didn't they, the Talking Tom?
I forget what it was, but it was recent where these kids were committing suicide based on this figure or something that was on the internet. And what happens is that the fact that it's desensitized, the fact that it's kind of normal, the fact that it's commonplace, that's why we hear about 6-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds killing themselves. I had never heard of that when I was a kid. And that was not and forgive me, people, but that was just not something that we did.
Right. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Nothing was ever that bad.
Right.
Now you got people like, they call me fat. Now I want to go kill myself.
Yeah.
Because it's become so commonplace. It's become so easy. You shooting up schools.
Yeah.
That was never done. Now it's like almost every other week there's another school being shot up. And now it's like you said, it's desensitized. I see something now, another shooting.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh my God, this is happening. I don't believe this. Now it's like, what school is this? What state is that?
Right.
Like the Navy.
Is now.
You know what? This is so many things that become so senseless. Pastor told me about 3 kids. I think their ages was 5, 7, 9. That cops shot them they was in a car. She said they shot a mother. It was a mother that pastor was talking to me about that they shot down. She wasn't doing anything. And 3 kids. And it was just
one was shot in the head. It was 3 kids in the back of a truck, but one of them was shot in the head.
Wow.
That makes no sense to me. You know what I mean? And it's like I see the point on both sides. It's just like, you know what I mean? I really do, because JB know that I used to be so bent on the cops was just bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just like and at one point Pastor said to me, she said, Pam, she said, I wonder if this is a hit against us, like it has and it's not, she wasn't talking about the cops, but she's talking about the devil trying to take out a race of people. You know what I mean? She said, because this makes no sense.
Yep.
And when she said that, I was like, Jesus.
That's what I was alluding to earlier. Like I said, but it goes deep.
Yeah.
Like
it's a real possibility.
Yeah.
Definitely
to say the least.
Yes.
That's a very real possibility.
You know what I mean?
The enemy is cunning.
It's like, yo, it's something. And Kasha made a couple of comments up here, along with a couple others. She had said that the lady, she said they did the autopsy, said that the woman wasn't pregnant. She said, and the cops, they said in Chicago, they ceased the filming of cops because they stated it was interfering with the police doing their jobs, which I think is a lie. They just don't want to be recorded. And then also Drew said, JB, he was bigging you up on what it is that you said. He said because his pastor was talking about Christians in the media and using social media in a positive way. Stephanie said, Kiki said she believed that social media is ruining us as a people. Yeah. And also Kasha said, do you feel if the aggression from the person being approached by the cops is expressed or not, expressed a little differently, it could help minimize these senseless shootings? And you know, Akasha, just Pam thinking what just popped in my mind. No. Honestly, I feel like if somebody has an agenda and they gonna do what it is that they want to do, because when you look at it, I think back to what's his name, the young man that was going to get married, and he was in a club with his family. What's something Bell? What's the young man's name?
Stephen Bell, I think it was. Okay,
he got shot
50 times. He shot at 50 times.
Young man ain't do nothing. He in the club.
He tried to hit the cops with the car.
He
tried to run over the cops with the car.
Oh, okay, he tried to run over.
That's no. But that's the one.
Sean Bell. Thank you.
Yeah, I knew it was
the S. Sean Bell.
Yes.
But my thing is that to shoot him up 50 times. But let's just think back to. Let's think about some of the ones that got killed in. All right, here we go, Kasha. Senseless. Those babies that just got shot. 5, 7, 9. What did they do to get killed? What did they do? Nothing. So I think that sometimes it's just like me. Like sometimes you can fight back, but it depends on the person that is in front of you, because sometimes on both sides of the fence, people like to pick fights. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes you get a cop, they come over to you, yeah, what? And I've seen it with my own eyes. You know what I mean? I've seen them. Now you, Billy, you the tough guy. Right. Come on, Billy. You the tough guy because you got the gun. Right. You know what I mean? So now you trying to intimidate me instead of just approaching me. Right. You know what I mean? And because maybe you are afraid, or either you just you think that you somebody because you got something. So I believe that on both sides that it depends on the person. It really does, and what spirit basically that they're carrying at the end of the day. Because I've seen cops get out of pocket, and all they did was walk over to you, and they got all the way out of pocket. Yeah. Seen it. And then I've seen the flip side of it. The young dude, the cops walk up, yo, what man? And it's just like, yo, dude, like, respect, old boy. Like, you trying to get killed out here today? Yeah. Like, what, you got a death wish? Because you trying to let your homies, trying to make your homies think that you tough? Mm-hmm. You know, so I seen it on both sides. Yep. But honestly, Pam thought Pam views. No. If you got an agenda, you got an agenda.
For me, I'd say that it depends on the situation. Yeah. I've seen both ways. I've seen people who talk like they got some sense and had no issue, and I've seen some people talk like they got some sense and still got, Jesus, you know, whatever. And I've seen plenty of people treat cops like crap, and
thanks, Tams.
So it's a combination. Yeah. I do believe that it can't hurt to act like you got some sense. Yeah, right. And to approach the situation a certain way, but also too, I mean, just pray and to me, it's like I know for me, I pray all the time that my son, who is 24, who is an African American male, does not have to deal with any aggression from any racist or whatever type of police officer. Right now, will he have to? He might. Is he immune to what's going on? Not at all. But I also pray that he knows that not to escalate the situation. Right. Yes, you know what I mean? Yes. Like, we going to be able to watch that body cam, and we going to that cop is going to jail. Right. You get what I'm saying? Right. We are going. There is not going to be a problem. Come on, JB. Right. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is that it just can't. It doesn't make the situation better. Yeah. Right. So I don't know one way or the other. I do believe that it definitely depends on the cop. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I just don't think it can hurt. Right. Yes. But I'm not saying if you sit like this that you guarantee to have no problems. No, Jesus. I'm not saying that at all. So don't yell at me. I understand. But I'm just saying that it can't hurt to act like you have some sense. That's but also too, that's part of who we're supposed to be. Right. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be a person that's going to be able to be wise and use wisdom and not escalate a situation, especially when you already see you dealing with an ignorant person.
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes that's evident. I mean, I've had ridiculous cops come at me.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
JB.
Like, dude, give me the ticket or not.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes, like,
but
calm down.
But I'll take your ticket.
Yes,
no problem.
Yes.
So I mean, it is not just a male thing, but of course, they are the ones that are considered, the intimidating ones, the people who, people can't seem to handle them, or they just because they're African American and black, they become a threat.
Yes.
And that is the narrative that we need to change.
Right.
That is a narrative that needs to shift.
Right.
Every African American male is not a threat.
Yes.
Right. But see, the thing is, just like every cop is not a racist, what do they call a racist pig?
Right.
Everybody is not that. So, but when we have those, when we paint those narratives and we say everyone fits into these baskets, then that is what further causes the divide, and that's what further causes the problem.
It puts the tension in the air, right?
Yeah, but it makes the cop defensive.
Yeah.
And it makes the person that's being pulled over defensive.
Right.
Because they don't know what they're getting.
Right.
So everybody's tensed up, ready for a fight, and they might not have had to been one.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And that's kind of my take on it too. I feel like, the climate that we're in right now, everybody is up. Yeah. Everybody's on the defensive. You don't know what this person is going to do when you approach them. So you automatically go into self-defense mode. So I think that, is it going to change? The social media situation is going to lighten up? I feel like change takes time. Things don't happen overnight. But it has to be something else besides, not just your approach. We need to kind of reset the atmosphere.
Yes.
Look, I'm approachable, I'm friendly, da-da-da-da-da. So that comes more than just, let me be humble when I get pulled over. No, that comes with, let's have some community events and let's build together as a community. Let me show you that, look, we here trying to live just like you. So I think that it has to be a combination of things to kind of reset the climate. It's not just enough to be humble, because we still don't know where one another's mindsets are. So we need to show ourselves friendly. They need to show themselves friendly. We need to reacclimate ourselves to, look, we are a community, and let's build and grow together. We rely on the cops to serve and protect, but we don't feel protected.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And we feel like, what agenda are you serving when you approach us? You know what I'm saying? What is your motive when you pull me over? What is your motive? Like, sometimes, you're so fearful when you get pulled over. You wonder, man, you see the lights behind your car. Am I going to make it home today?
Wow.
Will I see my family again? Like, it's hostile at that level. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So that needs to be de-escalated. And there are a number of things that need to happen to help kind of bring that energy down a little bit. So we can just say, look, we here to support. We here for each other.
I agree.
Let's figure out how we can coexist and support one another as a community and make it better for everybody, for our kids, for our families, for your families, for everybody. And I think that again, that takes initiating other things, programs and whatever. And it takes time. You know what I'm saying? Like, change doesn't happen overnight. You know what I mean? Like everybody's just not going to get comfortable overnight. Mm-hmm. It takes consistency. People like consistency. They change with consistency. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just tell me, show me.
Yes. Right. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, with those things, it can affect. That's my position.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. And one of the things that I've been loving when I see it on Facebook, and I don't care, whenever I see it, I forward it. I don't care how corny it is or what. It's when a cop stops and do something. That's just like, that's just kind of cool. Like, there's this one cop that stops and feeds the kids, and I always forward those.
Jump rope.
There's one that's jump rope.
Then there's the one who shoot basketball.
With his gun and everything. Another one was pop locking. And there was one that I saw recently when there was a white cop, and it was kind of funny because it was two black kids. You know, black kids outside playing with drums, right? Yeah. And there was a noise complaint, and the cop went to de-escalate the noise complaint, and he didn't tell them to go. He grabbed the sticks and started playing.
That's right.
Cute. And he didn't know people were filming this. You know what I'm trying to say? These two little kids could have had a very different experience if the wrong cop went. You know what I mean? Get this out! You knock the drums over. You know what I mean? Yeah. He played drums, and he was playing with them, enjoying them, and they got to see a cop in a different light.
Right.
And that's how. I mean, I know that seems very small, but that's how it starts.
But it's big.
It's letting that cop know that every black young boy is not going to shoot them, and it's also letting these young boys know that every cop is not going to be a clown just for the sake. because they can. And see, don't get it twisted. It's not just white cops.
Yeah.
Most of the ignorant cops I've met has been black.
Come on.
Right.
Yep. Yep. Because you already know. And yo, listen, I want to share a couple of things that I just saw up here. Drew said, he said there's a lot of racial profiling that goes on in the UK as well. He said, but they are fortunate because their cops don't carry guns. I said, wow. And then Tamsin said, she said, I think wise men would keep aggression and humility levels on super low on both sides. She said, like Pam said, in some cases, it wouldn't matter. However, she said, I would like to see the professionals in those situations be trained and equipped to de-escalate, the crazy situations their job would inevitably entail. Absolutely. And Kasha talked about a time when she was racially profiled. She said, I had been pulled over and I was addressed real wrong. She said, I asked why I was pulled over because it was dark, etc. He told me, she said, the cop said that she ran a stop sign. And I told him, absolutely not. I'm sure I stopped because I'm not familiar with the area. He then proceeded to ask where I was going. I told him, and then he gave me directions and said, have a nice night. She said he was profiling me for sure. And she began to say she agreed with Tamsin. And Kiki says, how can we convince them that black lives matter if black lives do matter to black people? She said, if black lives don't matter to black people, we will kill each other all the time and nothing is said. As soon as a cop killed one of us, everybody got something to say. We keep reposting and sharing videos of us acting like wild savages left and right, fighting, shooting, etc. Absolutely, and that's something
I say that all the time.
that JB opened my eyes to, and it's so true. It's just like, yo, when we shoot each other and we kill each other,
we don't see nothing.
We don't
snitch
nothing.
Right.
Yep.
We be like, don't snitch. But the cop shoot you. You be like, everybody bring your cameras to the police.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Let's post it on Facebook and
Come
Twitter.
on,
Let
right.
everybody go to jail.
Right,
Yeah.
JB. And that makes no sense.
No sense at all.
It makes no sense at all. And so, you know what, y'all? If not for nothing, it's time for us to love more. You know what I mean? We gotta love hard. We supposed to be, us here, and a great bit of you watching, truly say, if in fact we truly say that we love the Lord, Jesus Christ, and you have him as your personal Lord and Savior, how can you say that you have love for God and you can't even love the one that you see next to you? You know what I mean? How many of us are looking to say something to these young babies when we see them out there and they, doing some things that you don't, that we know that is absolutely wrong, and we like, yo, how many of us would look to pull one of them to the side and say, hey, baby, you're a handsome young man, you're a beautiful young girl, you don't gotta act like that. You know what I mean? You got a little, you got a whole lot to live for. How many of us are just, if you see something going on that you praying, instead of tooting your lips up and like, girl, how many of us did we just, you ain't even gotta go to them and pray. It's just like, because sometimes some of these young people very flip in the mouth, so you gotta be very careful with that too, because some of them are very ignorant.
Pop them in their mouth.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, so you gotta, and I get that, and at the same time too, just continue to, one thing I'm learning is that love is stronger. It's the strongest thing that
absolutely
that is around. You know what I mean? Because
Amen.
God is love. So come on, y'all. Let's love, and then too, if with the cops, let's respect them.
Yeah.
The Bible talks about respecting and honoring. You know what I mean? And go and being one who goes with the laws of the land. You know what I mean? They are due respect, regardless of if they come to your car showing out or not. Keep your mouth closed, bite your tongue, let them say whatever it is that they gotta say, and keep it moving with your life.
Absolutely.
Pretty much,
And love
don't
is the
provoke.
key.
Don't provoke.
Yeah, don't provoke them. But definitely, love is the key. I think a lot of, especially our young generation now, is they're acting out so much because of a lack of love. You know what I mean? Like it meant something back in the day to have that feeling that you didn't want to disappoint your parents. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You didn't want to, you wanted to do the right thing. You knew you'd be held accountable. You know what I mean? You knew somebody, but you knew it was love. And, Joyce, you said something earlier too when you're talking about the kids being suicidal and different things like that. Like, feeling, I'm ashamed. I'm not, I'm overweight. I'm this and that or whatever. And people are checking out so easy.
Yes.
Where's the encouragement that comes with the love? You know what I'm saying? People are, when you don't feel love, like I know back in the day, they was talking about people joining gangs and stuff. They was like, yo, don't nobody at home love me. Don't nobody at home care. This family shows me love. They care. This one I'm rocking with.
Like JB said, even though they beat me down.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
so it's more than what they was getting.
Yeah, man, we got to revisit the power of love. You know what I'm saying? And understand that it's so needed. I talk to young people now, like all the time, and they really feel like they don't have that support system.
Yeah.
So because nobody's listening. So because they don't have those factors, which are of love, and which we also know is also added accountability, they free to do whatever, and they go and do whatever, because nothing will happen. Not only will nothing will happen, but nobody cares either. If I do it, nobody's checking for me. That's dangerous. When you feel like nobody cares about you enough to check on you, nobody cares enough about you to push you off the train track when you see the train coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's dangerous. So when these kids, and not even just kids, because there's adults too, you know what I'm saying? But when these people are showing us this, what are we doing about it? Yeah. When they telling us this, what are we doing about it? Are we even wise enough and spiritually in tune enough to see it and to see the need and to address it? Because that is our responsibility. I don't have to know you to love you. I don't have to know you to push you out of the way of a bus coming to take your life. You know what I'm saying? But my love of God and my love for you, just like you say, I can't love God and I don't love my brother and sister that's right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we need to show that active reinforcement. That look, you're here for a reason. You have purpose in your life. I love you. If nobody else loves you, I'm here to support you. If you need somebody to talk to, I'm here. You want to come over and just hang out, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to push that agenda more. That's been fading, in recent times. You know what I'm saying? And as a result, kids gonna go somewhere. They're gonna turn to somebody. Because at the end of the day, a child needs guidance. You know what I'm saying? Whether they know it or not or whatever, they're looking for guidance. They're looking for somebody to instruct them, somebody to say I'm proud of you, or those positive reinforcements. You know what I'm saying? They're looking for that. So if they don't get it from the right people and they get it from the wrong people, if they keep on endorsing those behaviors but they giving them that positive feedback, they're gonna continue to go on with that. You know what I'm saying? So if we're not giving it to them at home, but we're not giving it to them at church, in our communities or wherever, you know what I'm saying? Man, they getting it from somewhere.
And now, somebody posted about the internet, and I've noticed that so many people don't have social skills. Like, they don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to interact with people because they haven't had to. All their friends are online. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I was laughing at my grandson because he was watching a video of other kids playing with toys. You know what I mean? Like, and I was
my goddaughters watch kids playing with toys on the. That's crazy.
And I was like, why is that fun? And then then I found out that my nephew does the same thing. So like, he likes these Ninja Turtle toys, and he watches kids play with Ninja Turtle toys.
Yeah,
and I'm sitting there like,
get that.
Don't you want to play with? And he has the toys, right? Like, he could go in his room and play with his toys. I
want you to show me how to play with these toys. What?
So I just realized that everything, your friends, everything is on the computer. Like, so it's like if this is your identity, and then somebody's attacking your identity in this platform, you feel like your life is over. Right. And it's like, there's a piece of this that makes social media is amazing on so many levels. It can do so many things. But there's a piece of it that people have become too reliant on. Like, you throw a computer or an iPad or a tablet in front of your kids and they play with that for hours. You don't talk to them. You don't talk to them. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I bought my grandson this ginormous coloring book. Right, and all these crazy looking crowns, and I was like, we're gonna do something besides you play with this iPad.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yes,
and he colors, he's this and that, and now and he loves. He's very bright with the technology because that's what it is. Like, everything is a computer. Right, like every game, everything is a computer. Yeah. So it's like I'm trying to allow him to be a kid. And because he's about to be 3. He's very young, but you know what I mean. But I'm noticing this is a trend. But I'm noticing it's a trend. And if we don't interact, and to your point, it's like if we don't interact, if we don't let them know that they're loved, we don't let them know that they're cared for, if we don't let them know that there's something else like outside of this, then you can be a slave to this.
Absolutely. When we were younger, my father would have family time with us. You know what I'm saying? Like I was for the most part raised by my dad. You know what I'm saying? My brother and I. And we would have nights where we would just like sit down, everything is off, and he'll read us a Bible story and talk about it. But, you know, like my father's so funny. Like he'll, you know, do it all animated and just make it fun and ask questions. And then we'll have like game nights. We just shut it down and we'll play games, or we'll either like sing and do stuff like that. But I look forward to those interactions, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, okay, well, you know, when I was young, you know, it wasn't even social media, wasn't even around, you know what I'm saying? Like we had Nintendo and stuff like that. That's right, NES, the original Nintendo.
Yes, we had
you know
Nintendo.
what I'm saying? Like all of that, you know, we play games and stuff like that, but you know, at the same time, it was just family time. We'll play cards and do whatever and just had the music on blast. And that was so big. That was more fun than, you know, than if social media existed to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I look at it now and it's like, okay, dude, your eyes are so glazed out. We could be in a room. Like, I was at an event the other day, and everybody's sitting at the table. It was probably like 10 or 11 of us sitting at the table. And legit, everybody on their phone. Nobody talking.
Have you been with somebody like you like this far and they text you?
Yeah.
Like I've been at a place where we literally like I can say, hey, so and so,
right?
And I got a text from them, and I'm like, yo, dude,
like
I'm right here.
Like say something.
Yeah, you know, and it's because it's a comfort level.
Yeah.
It's, you know, people who don't like confrontation, people who don't like to speak up, people who can't really say what's on their mind. You can hide behind.
I was about to say hide, in fact.
Yeah, you can hide behind technology.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I watched this. I used to be, you know, whatever. I did this thing with my son for a long time. We would do highs and lows. Like we would do this thing. What was your high for the day? What was your low for the day? It was real corny, right?
You're like a TV mom.
But it was cool. You know what I mean? It got him talking. It got us talking.
Yeah.
And it was like fun. And then eventually, you know, he got a little older. And then, you know, I'm corny, you know. So eventually he got older, but still I can conversate with him. I can talk with him. He gets on my nerves now as an adult child, but still I can conversate with him and I can talk with him. You know, even if I get on his nerves, he still respects me. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's like that piece is lost. You know what I mean? A lot of parents don't have the respect of their kids. A lot of parents don't even know what their kids are doing.
They don't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They're not dialed in.
And then some of them are oblivious because they can paint the picture in person.
Yeah.
But online, they something completely different.
Yeah.
Like I remember back in high school, this was, I guess I'm old, right? But this is a long time ago. People used to come to school and change their clothes. Like, you know, like your parents wouldn't allow you to walk out the house looking like, nowadays I see girls leaving their house butt all out.
Like,
and I'm like, yo, you didn't hide that? You got like you walking out your house dressed like this?
Yes, you.
And then one of my friends actually told me, well, this is the way the clothes is made today. And I was like, well, you need to get them some new clothes because I personally wouldn't purchase something like that. Like they would have to get a job and get that type of stuff on the sneak. I wouldn't purchase those types of things. And so like I had a conversation with somebody who was talking about, you know, the gender fluent world now, and how some kids want to dress like girls and some boys want to dress like girls and some girls want to dress like boys. And I was like, well, they can do that when they turn 18. I said, because as their parent, I would never buy my son girl clothes and I would never buy my girl boy clothes. So they would have to be who they were until they was able to do different. You get what I'm saying? And it's not that I don't love them. I would love on them and all that. Absolutely. But I'm not purchasing you a dress if you're a boy.
That's
just not happening.
Come on,
right?
You better say it.
But I offended somebody who don't even have a fluent child. They were just offended at my thought process, right? And I was like, I was so confused. I was like, the reason why we have so much confusion, the reason why we have so many problems, because so many things are acceptable and so many things are being shown in these social media platforms. Because I never even knew all these different extra letters added to the different things, and I did not even know there was a story that I read. I don't know if we did it on Pam'S World or not, but there was a story I read that talked about a parent, a father that was being taken to court because he wanted to call his son a boy. And I sat there and I could not believe that this was a court case.
The mother was saying it was.
He was 6.
Wow.
And I was like, what in the world? A 6-year-old don't even know if they want chicken or fish.
Right.
You know what I mean? I used to be able to fool my son at that age.
Yeah.
Like he didn't eat fish, but he would eat FISH. Right. and he was like, I don't eat. And I would like, I would take a place and I would still embarrass him. I'd be like, Jonathan, do you eat fish? And he'd be like, I don't eat fish. I said, but don't you like FISH? He'd be like, yes, I do.
The mind game.
But what I'm saying is at that age, they don't know what they like. They don't know what they want.
Yep.
How can you allow a 6-year-old to dictate their life at 6?
Yeah.
So it's been an issue for me. And I told him, I said, at 18, if they decide to do that, that's their life.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm not responsible from 18 on. But to 18, I'm not.
You gonna do what I say?
Yeah, I'm not condoning. I'm not helping. I'm not allowing. Now, if you get a job and you do your own thing, that's on you. But I'm not. I'm not doing that.
Kids need structure,
and that's what I'm saying. But if you don't give them any, then whose fault is that?
Right.
Then it's like, okay, well, you don't love me. You allow me to do whatever I want to do.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So to me, it's like when somebody's telling them no, and they're not. Man, it's a whole
okay, Kasha said, I gotta read this.
Go ahead.
Kasha said, my friend says she is allowing her child to express themselves and be free. She let her daughter get in boy's tuxedo for her birthday. She had a bow tie, boys' shoes, and all. I don't understand it, but she said it's her child. And she's absolutely right. It is her child, Kasha, and at this point she had beautiful hair, but all of a sudden she wanted to shave it all off. You know what? It is her child. Your friend is absolutely right. But what you can do is stand and just pray. You know what I mean? Stand and be the one to pray and talk to her mom. You know what I mean? When the child is not around, if God place something on your heart to say to the mom, pray for the mom and the baby, that the mother would stop allowing this whole, the mindset of the world, this inclusive, like as JB said, it's just like, she's 9. Wow. This whole, I'm just going to let my child be who they want to be. No, because like JB said, you don't know what you want when you're that young. You don't know. You have no idea. But there are some things that you are being influenced by. You can be influenced by something. So my thing is that if her mom is allowing her to do this because now her daughter wants this, so then where's the mom being a mom? And then 2, on top of that, I would say, what are you allowing her to watch, and who is she hanging around?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So because something is influencing her
to
want to change. So it's just like, man, at the end of the day, sis, but you got to let people, raise their kids the way that they want to raise their kids, because I got to respect that, because before my comment would have been completely different, but I'm learning. But we can stand in a place of prayer because they need it. We all do. But in this particular situation, she need prayer.
Yeah, and that's all we can do from a distance is pray. But again, just like it would have been my decision not to indulge that,
pray without them being around. Sis.
Everybody else,
just you and God,
has that decision to make for their child.
Yes.
But see, to me, is I felt like until everything became so inclusive, there could have been a legal standing that if you had a boy, it is a boy. You know what I mean? Until they're legal age enough to do something about it. But when they started to say in certain states that you can have a gender-free child, like you don't even have to dictate if they're a boy or a girl.
That's wild.
But that changes. There's nothing
that's
that you.
Wild.
Yeah, but there's
facts.
But then you got kids in grammar school that you can't call them boys and girls.
Yeah.
In certain schools, they cannot be called a boy or a girl.
Wow.
It's the child. You
get
what I'm
here,
saying?
Boy.
So and then you wonder why kids are confused.
That's crazy.
You wonder why you have so many children. And then think about it. It's like if you grew up in a situation where you had a bunch of girls around you all the time. Just because you have a bunch of girls around you all the time, you could just gravitate toward wanting to do what they do. Right? That doesn't mean you want to dress and be a girl when you grow up.
Right.
It could just be that this is where you are right now.
Right.
Like I have no issue with little boys playing with girl toys and girls playing with boys. I don't have an issue with that. I have an issue with, you wanting to be a girl when you're a boy, and a boy when you're a girl when you're 6.
Yes.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And so to me, that's always been an issue for me. And to me, it kind of flows into everything that we kind of been talking about tonight, about the children not getting the support, not getting the love, not getting the guidance, not getting, correction. And then you got these children that grow up that never been told no, that never been told they can't do, never been told, then they don't know how to handle it as an adult.
Yep.
Right.
So then you got adults that's raising kids that never dealt with anything. And then now,
And they spoiled to death, acting crazy when they don't get their way.
Exactly.
Turning up.
And then you have a child made in your same image.
Yeah. And what's crazy
say
is
that, JB.
My concern. All right, so I don't have any kids. If y'all know me, I don't have any kids. I got a lot of God kids.
Yeah.
But I don't have any yet. Have any natural kids. But I'll be honest with y'all, real deal concerned. I mean, I love kids. I mean, youth pastor. You know what I'm saying? I love kids. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is, I understand what my role and responsibility is as a parent. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to fail God. I don't want to fail my child. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that in parenting, and I think a lot of people don't take it seriously enough, especially the ones that you got kids, having kids, and they just having kids for whatever, don't understand the responsibility that comes with it. You are to train your child. Now, if your child grows older and they stray away or whatever, then you have to trust that what you've taught them, you know what I'm saying, that they'll come back to. You know what I'm saying? But it's your responsibility to put the facts there. You got to teach them right. You got to train them right. And I think that a lot of times parents tend to want to over-identify and want to be best friend to my child and compromise being a parent. No, you need this structure. I love you. I support you. We can be cool and have good times, but absolutely not.
But we don't play.
Yeah,
I don't play
absolutely not. My mother and my father, two of the most fun people on the face of this planet. Not even just saying it because they're my parents. Like, everybody love my parents. Like, my friends would come to my house and hang out with my father because they was, he's just that cool dude. You know what I'm saying? But under no uncertain circumstances did I feel like I could cross certain lines. You know what I'm saying? As cool as we were, as comfortable as our relationship was. You know what I'm saying? It was very clear. He was the parent, I was the kid. You know what I'm saying? And we can have all the fun in the world, but I knew the boundaries, I knew the lines, and my father, made it clear and showed love. You know what I'm saying? He gave balance. Same thing with my mom. Showed love and gave balance. These kids, they don't have the balance. They get just like you say, Joyce, whatever they want, they get spoiled, they get whatever they want with no type of restrictions and nothing, and that's damaging. You know what I'm saying? Or either some of them are too hard and they're too stern, and then they don't show the love. They don't give the balance. You know what I'm saying? They break them down, but don't know how to build them up. So now they're going somewhere else looking for the love that they want at home. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to give. You got to be able to give the balance. It's all about shaping and molding a human being. Amen. And you got to know how to do that. You have to be responsible enough to do it the right way, not to do it the easy way because you want to be the friend or whatever, just I want them to make their own decisions and be free, do whatever you want. Nah, that's cool. I do want you to think and make your own decisions, but at the same time, I'm going to equip you with some outlines. I'm going to equip you with the guidelines and put you on the path to show you how to think correctly. Now, whatever decisions you make, is on you. Whatever you decide after that is on you. But at like 6 and 9, come on, that's too young for you to really take on. I remember my mother asked my brother and I a question when we were younger, and I probably was in maybe third grade or something like that, and she was moving up to upstate New York to live, and she kind of asked us how we felt about it. She was whatever, needed to go and do some things. As a child, my mother, I'm all for it because I love you, and if you're saying that you need to go take care of some stuff, cool, you know what I'm saying? But then it's like at the end of the day, you don't know the effects that it's going to have when you're way down the line. So you answer out of the knowledge that you have at that time. You know what I'm saying? I probably would have gave her a different answer if I knew then what I knew now. But I was too young. You don't know life stuff yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the effects that it's going to have on me down the line. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you're too young to really take on the burden of the responsibility of making a decision that's going to have an impact like that early. You know what I'm saying? And so parents have to be. You got to be wise enough to know. Look, this is a little over your head. You need support on this one. You need structure. You need direction. So I'm going to help you on this. You're not ready for this yet. Not that you can't think for yourself. Not that I don't appreciate your creativity and all that. But you need guidelines on this.
Yes.
And then after you learn and you grow and you mature to a certain level, and you've proven that you can handle that, then okay, I'll let you move on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
True.
Yes, okay.
So true.
I see something, and then we're going to slide into JB on sports.
Oh, man,
Kasha,
we might skip that. You see the time? We're going to do Ask Chi-Chi.
I see, Kiki said, she said, being a tomboy growing up, I used to want to be a boy. It was just a phase from hanging around boys all the time. I want into girls or anything. She said I wasn't into girls or anything like that. I was just a kid being a kid, I guess. Don't understand why parents push that gender stuff on their kids, but it may not even be that serious for the child itself. I agree, Kiki. I really do agree that the pushing of stuff, because that's what the mother was doing. When JB spoke about the 6-year-old boy, the mother was pushing it so hard on the child, but the dad was like, when the son was around him, he was just who he was. He was the little boy, that he was with his daddy. And so, yeah, that's something. Yeah. But I know she said, we're not going to get into JB on sports tonight. But I know that Joker's up here been waiting on you. And I can't not do it tonight. Somebody.
All right, we going to keep it short.
Listen, J to the B on Sports. You know what I mean? Tonight, you see it with the Knicks. We got to change that hat to just the Bulls. Or either
Golden State.
Never Knicks fan. Number 3 pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Number 3 pick in the draft.
Yes, come on. Yeah, come on.
Yes,
JB, talk to us tonight. We missed you.
Oh, well, you're going to keep it simple. I'm going to do past the DDs. Somebody going to win, somebody going to lose. Nah, y'all, that was hilarious. I was cracking up last week. But, nothing too much going on right now. Classic. Since I've been here, quite a few things have happened, right? The Knicks got the number 1 pick and number 3 pick in the draft. That means no Zion, but that's okay.
Who did he go with? So did he go with
the Pelicans got the number 1 pick.
So he went with the Pelicans?
Well, he ain't go nowhere yet.
Okay.
They got the number 1 pick.
Okay.
Right. But obviously Anthony Davis is leaving. So he'll should know that they don't do too well with number 1 picks there.
No?
So maybe he might want to go back to Duke.
Oh my goodness!
He don't have an agent.
Are you serious?
He didn't get an agent yet. So if he didn't get an agent yet, he can't go back to school.
He can.
Yeah, long as he didn't get an agent and he hasn't gotten any.
You think that would be wise for him to go back for another year?
For him, I mean, he would be the number 1 pick. I think next year also,
really?
Barring injury. Yeah.
Okay.
He's not the best player I've ever seen, but his ability and what he can do at his size. I've never seen a player that big do some of the things that he can do, so he can dominate. Wow. And so I'm telling you, if y'all saw my Facebook posts and stuff, I had on my Knicks gear, I had on my Knicks gear, I was praying, I was like, come on, Jesus, do it. But the basketball guys was not in our favor. God was like, I am not wasting my time on Zion. Y'all do not get him. So no, he went to he got number 1 pick Pelicans. But, only thing right now going on, NBA finals. But, of course, the finals are technically over. You might as well crown Golden State. They didn't win yet. So Steph could get hurt, something like that.
Speak that into his life.
But I'm just saying he could get hurt. So it's not really.
Crack 66 points. Boom.
There's a reason why we play this game, right? So I'm going to try to
Steph
keep
go
that.
off.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
You think they're going to do a sweep? You think they're going to sweep?
I believe they're going to sweep Toronto. And the only reason why I believe that, why is because Kawhi's hurt.
Okay.
Kawhi is not 100%. The last couple games, don't get it twisted. Kawhi has been playing with his heart on his sleeve. Ever since that 4 bounce. Come on, y'all saw that game when he that game 7 shot in Philly. That 4 bounces. Come on. Yeah. That's not going to keep happening. He had a crazy bounce the other night. That's not going to keep happening.
You don't know.
So
stranger things have happened.
I can't see them. I can see them. I'll say this. Maybe they will win a game, but there's no way they're winning the series. And I just feel like it's going to be a sweet, especially if KD comes back. Because KD is going to have to prove to all these people who keep trying to say that they're a better team without him. Don't get it twisted. Golden State is a great team with or without Durant. Right. But they are an amazing team. with Durant. I mean, I don't think they should lose a game with Durant. I mean, Durant is a different maker because they you know, if Durant's having an off game, you can have so many other things going on. Like right now, if you see Draymond is playing the best basketball he played all season.
Right.
And partly it's because his game changes when Durant's not on the floor.
Right.
You know, you got the Slash brothers moving the ball in a way that hasn't happened in months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's fun for them. They're out there just having fun. Now when KD come back, ain't nothing going to change. They're still going to win. You know, and then Cousins. Cousins is coming back too. Come on.
Right.
I do not believe Toronto has a chance. Drake can get on the court. He can pray. He can wear his Kawhi shirts. He can do all of that.
Yeah, Toronto's not going to win.
They're not going to win.
I don't think they're going to get swept. Now, I don't think they're going to get swept, but they're not going to win the series.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to win swept. But I think they're going to get swept. I wouldn't put. I'm not a gambler like that, so I wouldn't put no money on it. But I do believe they're going to get swept. And the only reason why I say that is because Kawhi is hurt. The way he's been laboring up and down the court the last couple games, even though they've been playing lights out, got to think the Bucks have not played well. I mean, they have not played well these last couple games, and
they've not been consistent at all.
And on top of that, Toronto barely won. They're not playing the Bucks,
right?
So I just think Golden State is going to sweep them.
Good night.
And no, we'll see. Game 1 is Tuesday. Game 1 is Tuesday. So all of y'all just watch greatness. I'm still a Knicks fan.
I'm Golden State fan, by the way. So they're definitely going to win. But I just want to give a little, because I do like Kawhi. And I do like they have that new kid rookie drive. You know what I'm saying? And that
but you know he's going to leave.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, why they here now? You know what I'm saying? Before we even get, you know, why they here now? You know what I'm saying?
Kawhi's tired.
Yeah, he looks hurt. He looks hurt.
Yeah.
I don't. They're not saying he's injured or anything like that. They're not speaking it, but he looks injured.
Yeah.
He looks injured.
He just look bad, bro. Like what?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but he just looks. He like his. Don't get twisted. He playing with lots of heart. And Kawhi, I liked him when he played with San Antonio. So I loved his game. I felt like he was a little bit more stifled in San Antonio. He's a little bit more freer in Toronto, but. I also believe because he has to do so much, because he has had to carry the team through the last 2 series, he's just beat down.
Yeah.
And there's no way that they're going to beat Golden State. And I don't like series like this. Like I don't like series like where there's no need to watch. Yeah. You know what I mean? I like it to be interesting. I like it to be like, you know, the Heat, the Houston series is an interesting series. I had no doubt that Golden State was going to win, but you know there was so many people who thought D'Antoni was going to win a series. I mean, come on now, there's no chance that they're going. Houston will never win with D'Antoni as their coach. You got to think how many years did he coach the Suns? They was always great. Always great regular season. Yeah. They score 100 some odd points, but in the playoffs they look like trash because they cut out what they do best. You can't run and gun on a team 7 straight games. You can't do it.
You wear yourself out.
You wear yourself out.
Yeah, you definitely will. And that's speaking as an athlete. Yeah, and every team that I've played on, we've been a run and gun team. But you gotta be able to shift to sustain. You know what I'm saying? And you need to train.
And they had no shift.
Right, but then you know, like the coaching is key. You know what I'm saying? You can't have people because just like you said, you can't go on 1,000, you know, every day. You got to shift and you got to just like you working out. You got to have muscle recovery. You got to you got to have little breaks. You got to remain consistent and you got to have something else to keep you in the game. But you can't. You will burn out ASAP.
And Harden is an ISO player. And you know, with a running gun team with an ISO player, and the thing is, they played better when the ball was in Chris Paul's hands. Yeah, but. You can't take the ball away from Harden.
Right.
So that's why they lost.
Right.
So D'Antoni is not the coach because obviously he did not get Harden to buy in to what needed to get done.
Right.
I mean, granted, in the regular season, running gun all you want. You know, but in the playoffs, you needed to do some sets. Yeah. You needed to do some play. And they were not going to beat Golden State playing like that. Now, they might get a good run. I mean, come on. They was up by 17.
Right.
And that was like, no problem.
Yeah.
We'll come back from that. Because
Golden State is such a great team.
Kasha said, "What about the Dallas Mavericks, though? Get out of here!"
Oh, come on.
No.
You know what? They got KP.
Right.
They got KP. Maybe next year. You know. KP's there now. You know, Dirk's going. That was cool. But I mean, you know,
Kasha said the Mavericks. I want to meet you, Kasha, just to kind of see what kind of person you are. Talking about Dallas.
But you know, she from Texas.
Oh,
yeah.
You don't even know. I know.
Oh, yeah, she from
Hometown
Texas.
pride. That's what's up. Go ahead, Kasha.
Yeah, she's from Texas. But yeah, so you know, that's what it is. Pretty much, Golden State's going to win another championship. You know, Durant won't be MVP. At least we know that. Even if he come back, he won't be MVP. So maybe this will be Steph's year, because I thought Steph should have got MVP last year.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't know. I know people hate on me for that, but Steph should have won MVP last year.
Yeah.
And I felt like he felt some kind of way, just like I felt like Klay Thompson feels some kind of way about not making All NBA.
Right.
Because that cost him a couple mil.
Dude, that's crazy. You said like 30 mil, right?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Like, 'cause
that's a lot of dough.
It's tied to his contract. He has a contract where if he makes All Team NBA, he gets like a bonus,
right?
Kind of like football players where they have sack totals and these totals that and the thing is, the craziest part about it is only was input so they can have a salary, they can get past the salary caps, because it's considered a bonus, not part of his salary.
Right.
And he would be All NBA if he was on any other team. But he's fourth fiddle when KD playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's still phenomenal guard. Like, he's better than most.
Yeah.
But he didn't make All NBA. So that cost him a couple mil. So that's now, crazy. You know, so it's... So
I'll be flipping up tables for my 30 mil.
Well, you know, they're going to do what they got to do. They're going to definitely win the championship. So maybe he'll get MVP.
I demand a recap.
But that's pretty much
30 mil on the line. Let's go back and get them tickets back out. Them ballots back out.
But it's like it's
made mistakes somewhere.
It's what's the names though. It's not on his records.
Yeah.
It's on votes.
Right.
So you know, like
that's what I'm saying.
They get voted in.
Yeah.
So like, and you know, it's about favorites, because to me, the person who should not have made the team, and I get it, everybody's a LeBron fan, but LeBron shouldn't have made the team. Yeah. He did not play many games. They did not make they didn't make the playoffs. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he was out half the year with the groin injury. I mean, he didn't play with heart. His defense has fallen off. Yeah. He made All NBA second. You know, he made All NBA.
Now, he's the ultimate fan favorite. That's all.
Yeah, but then that's not why you should. Right. You know what I mean? So especially since he's not hurting for money either.
Right.
True.
So, you know, we're going to see. But that's pretty much it, y'all. See, somebody going to win, somebody going to lose.
Somebody going to win, somebody going to lose. Golden State going to win, Toronto going to lose.
Yes, right.
And Dallas is still at home.
Yes, right. They're going to be at home for a couple more years.
Yes.
They're
going to be home for a long time. Long time.
The only Houston team going to be doing anything for minutes was San Antonio. They got pop, so that things could definitely work out. I don't care who they got down there. They can make it to the playoffs with just having Pop as their coach. But D'Antoni, Houston Rockets, there's gonna be some changes. I think he's gonna get fired this offseason.
Dang, you wanna take that man's job? Take his
job? Think about, come on, what happened with him? Come on, think about it.
You don't want to give him no support, counseling, coaching.
Come on, he was with Phoenix Suns and Amari. They ran a gun,
feed his family,
and then they never did anything. They was great team every year. They sometimes win top of division, you know, and they never did anything. Then he comes to New York, turns him into a running gun, and come on, you bring in Amari with 2 broke knees, and then he does something stupid, hurts himself. Then the next thing you know, we're a running gun team playing no defense.
Yeah.
Play absolutely no defense. We running gun. We outscoring people. It's exciting. It's fun to watch, but we ain't winning nothing.
The defense winning games. That's why.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
And that's what's happening right now.
Yep.
You got a running gun team. Y'all very exciting. But I mean, come on. You score 130. They score 131.
Right.
Oh.
Facts.
And you can't win like that.
Yeah, you got to be able to stop the other team from scoring. It's
yeah,
not just you being able to score. You got to stop them from scoring.
And
my numbers go up while yours don't move.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how you win. And they never did that. And D'Antoni is not that type of coach.
Yeah.
So I just never see them winning with
support.
Him.
You don't want to give that man no support, huh? You just want to take his job.
He needs to go. Well, I mean, he could say that all he wants.
You don't want to give an assistant to the assistant?
Nah, but they tried that in New York when they tried to bring in Woodson. They tried to bring in a defensive-minded coach
right.
to help him.
Yeah,
and that didn't work because you didn't have a defensive-minded team. You got a coach that don't teach defense, don't look for defensive-minded players, and then you're going to try to tell them to play D.
Yeah.
And then be mad at them for not playing D when you did not agree, get them in there to play D.
Right.
You try to blame everything on... y'all know I'm a Melo fan. They try to blame everything on Melo.
I'm like this with Melo.
But they try to blame everything on Melo.
They do. But
he's probably, come on, honestly, he's probably one of the most... abused superstars in the league. Like he's not playing right now, but you know what I mean? Like when he played, he didn't get the calls. He never got the favor like the other elite athletes did.
I'll give you that.
He'd get knocked to the floor and it's no foul, but he touched someone, they're fouled. So, I mean, he never got that respect.
Yeah.
Right? Never did.
True. That's true.
When he played with Denver, when he played with New York, never got it. But then when he come here, you blame him. I mean, you blame him. You kick his back in. And then you mad that nobody want to trade for him.
But for me personally, I think with Melo, I think people expected so much from him. Yeah. And couldn't handle it. Like, he just couldn't deliver on the expectation.
But they never gave him what was needed.
That's true. They didn't give him what was needed, but at the same time, I just feel like the expectation on him was too great too. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people unfairly thought he was going to do, like they automatically put him up here. And like I said, it was a lot of things that needed to happen for him to really play strong. He needs a strong sidekick. You know what I'm saying?
He definitely needed a point.
He needed a strong co-star.
And the Knicks never had a point when he was playing with us.
Right.
He never had a point.
Yeah.
He was dribbling the ball up the court. He's creating his own shot. Yeah. Then you mad he an ISO player. Who else is he going to throw the ball to?
Right.
He throw the ball to people and they throw it back to him.
What about when AI was there for that hot little that quick little
but he wasn't there long enough. And that's part of the issue. Is like they not there. They didn't have they didn't have right chance mix.
To gel.
Yeah, and then you switch up the coach. Yeah. Then you bring in Jackson, which was a failure.
Yeah.
I mean, the Knicks have a history of failures, but that was a failure.
Facts. They did.
Yeah, that was horrible. Yeah. What he did. I mean, come on, KP was cool, but KP was not what everybody think. I said this way before. He cool. Y'all want to consider him the Great White Hope? Cool. All that's cool. He's a decent player, but he was not get rid of Melo good. You know, he was not that. I said he's light. He gonna get hurt. Sure enough, you get rid of Melo, he out for a whole year.
Yeah.
He got braces on his knees. He played for 1 year.
True.
1 season. And
Joyce, her voice changed today. It's getting real up here. So Joyce,
I don't understand. I'm a Knicks
who do you
fan.
feel like I see. Who do you feel like would have been the appropriate co-star for Melo?
I really felt like they should have brought in Chris Paul. And the reason why I felt like that is because Chris Paul, Melo, and Stoudemire wanted to play together. They when Melo got married, they were all at his wedding, like trying to do the same thing LeBron did.
Yeah.
But Chris Paul couldn't get out of his contract. Right. Then they wouldn't want to trade him to New York. Then they was going to trade him to Lakers, and then that didn't happen. That fell through. Then they traded him to the Clippers. Yeah. And then, he had Doc Rivers out there, Griffin. Yeah. Why would he want to come to New York after that? You know what I mean? Yeah. So then there was really nobody out there that really would have fit that mix. Because
Chris Paul's a good choice, actually. I'm thinking about it. Chris Paul is
that would have been a great choice. One, Chris Paul and Melo had a history, right? Mm-hmm. Chris Paul had, he's declined some, but he has a great handle. He can see the floor.
His maturity in the game
has gotten better.
Yes.
Definitely. It's gotten better.
Game.
It's gotten better. And also, too, I feel like Melo is a person that's going to speak his mind. And I think that's part of the main reason why he has so many issues where he goes. Because he speaks his mind to the coaches, he speaks his mind to the ownership, and he speaks his mind to the players. Right. And he need people who got a little bit thicker skin that can handle that. Yeah. And Chris Paul is also a person who speaks his mind.
Right.
So I felt like that would have been a great mix. And if they would have made that change, I think you would have saw something different in New York.
Yeah.
Because it didn't take much to win in the East. Come on. There was only really one team that you had to beat.
Right.
I mean, we couldn't even make the playoffs. I mean, that's ridiculous. I was so sad. When Melo left, I was hurt. I was crushed.
Yeah. I like Melo, but
Tasha said Melo need to go to the Cavs. They'll give him a shot. She said Melo need to ask Jesus for help.
Nah, Melo is not going to compromise. Right? Melo is going to play again. Melo is a great player. Melo is an ISO player. He is an ISO player. He is an ISO player. I give you that. But so can Kevin Durant. So is Harden. You know what I mean? If you get the right people around him and can give him the ball when he needs it, and he doesn't have to create his own shot, his ISO game could help.
Yeah.
But when you try to put his ISO game in your stupid triangle offense, no, that's not going to work.
Right.
And that's what happened. It made him look really bad when he's not a bad player.
Yeah.
He was in a horrible system.
Yeah.
Then you bring him to D'Antoni, which I was shocked that he went. Because he hated D'Antoni when he played in New York, right?
I mean, something internal was wrong there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That he needed to get away from.
Yeah, and then he went back there.
Yeah.
And y'all know I'm a Melo fan. Yes, I am. I'm sorry.
Melo was cool. Love you, Melo, but you know.
Yes.
I didn't put the pressure on you, Melo, to do what everybody else, expected you to do. Choice.
Yes, I did. I expected him to come in and be like Bernard King. I expected him to come in and just be the king of New York. I expected some changes. I mean, I posted like Empire State of Mind. I had my big. I went out, bought my number 7 jerseys. I went to the games. I was like Melo everything. Right, I was so excited because I didn't want. Remember the year before, LeBron was a free agent.
Right.
I didn't want LeBron.
Right.
I wanted Melo.
I don't want to see LeBron.
And the reason why I wanted Melo is because he was one of the very few people who said he wanted to come here.
Yeah.
Like Bernard King was an idol of his.
Yeah.
And I want somebody that wants to be here.
Yeah.
I don't want somebody that want to use us. I don't want somebody just going to use us for a platform and make more money someplace else. That's not what I want.
Right.
I want this to be the basketball mecca and really be that, not just because it's the building.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just always thought Carmelo would just be, he would be a strong key player, but I didn't expect him to be. He's a superstar, you know what I'm saying? But I never expected him to be, because it's a lot of different things, leadership, like all of that, you know what I mean? Like I just never expect. I expect him to come in and to do his job. That's really just my expectation from him. I don't expect a lot of craziness, a lot of whatever. Like come in and perform consistently. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are not consistent. So they come in and they look they got other agendas with their game. They're trying to be superstars. They're trying to get the endorsement. All of that.
But he's not that. I never got that from him. That's one of the things I like about him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's just a straight key player. But that's all I expect from him. Yeah. I don't look to make him the superstar of the team. You know what I'm saying? He has superstar qualities. Some, you know what I'm saying? But to me, like, if I'm putting together a team, I'm not going to pick him as a superstar. He'll be that strong, consistent factor that will be a support to somebody else that's really going to take over.
For his game, you're right. I definitely agree that he needed a point.
Yeah.
He needed a point, and it wouldn't hurt to have a center.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody else that could take some rebounds and take some pressure off of him having to do so much.
Right.
Because that was the thing. He was playing power forward center for the Knicks.
Yeah.
Even with Porzingis.
Yeah.
Come on, he was lightweight.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, so I was upset. The reason why I was so upset is because I felt like there was so much more that we should have seen and so much more we could have gotten that we didn't get a chance to see because it wasn't set up right. But the Knicks have a history of that.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Patrick Ewing at the height, they had him surrounded by a bunch of old players that was slow.
Right.
When now he got knee braces on, now you bring in you bring in Houston and Sprewell, and now you want to run.
Right.
He can't run.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For the record, I never liked the Knicks. Back when John starts and they be cheating in the playoffs, flagrant foul, and trying to hurt people.
That's my favorite time of year.
Nah. I hated them the most at that time, yo.
Who's your team? Always go to State.
Anthony Mason.
That's right. Come on. How could you hate?
Who you said?
Your team was always Golden State?
No. Back in the day, Chicago Bulls all day.
Yeah.
And then the Lakers and now Golden State. You know what I'm saying? Those are my teams.
But see, you had to, like, I respect anybody who's a Bulls fan. I expect y'all to hate us. You know what I mean?
There you go.
But no, being honest. And like, y'all should expect me to hate y'all.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
We can take the hate.
Because if you think about it, back then, that's when basketball was so much fun. Because you know how we had to go to State game in Houston, and everybody was saying the winner of this game is going to take the title. That's how that's how the Knicks and the Bulls used to be.
Yeah,
the winner of that game, you always knew whoever won that game, they was going to take it. Yep. That's why I still blame OJ to this day for us not winning. Because that game 7 when he did that Bronco chase, it took it away.
I'm like, OJ, who she talking about?
Y'all don't remember game 7? We were in the finals. We played the Houston Rockets.
People, you went to OJ.
Yeah, we were playing Houston Rockets. Game 7. We had to cut from the game to go watch OJ try to run away in his Bronco. And when we came back, John Starks was blowing up bricks. I think somebody did something to him in the break.
All hands in this direction, y'all. Julie's a prayer, man. Yeah. She pulled OJ into this.
I'm telling you, it's OJ's fault. OJ did.
It's a system. They set up the system.
But it's so much. I mean, sports. Y'all see, this is what happens when you talk to somebody who loves sports. It's fun. I don't feel no kind of way. You know when you grew up, you just that rivalry was just everything.
The rivalry was dope. Man, you gotta have a rivalry.
Anthony Mason, Oakley, and then when Cartwright went to y'all. Traitor.
Trader.
But he got some rings over there.
I'm about to say, he got them rings, though. You know what I'm saying?
Got some rings.
Cartwright got some rings.
I was so mad at him. I used to be so mad.
But that's what's like. I said, why you go?
He had his moments where
he will come through. But see, but the thing about
that's how I felt when we got Oakley. I was like, come on, Oakley, come on over.
I know, right? And that ugly foul shot. But see the dope thing.
And that little patch of hair.
Yeah. But see, the dope thing about the Bulls at that time was, and I always tell people, because they always comparing, Jordan and Kobe and all this. Yeah, you got to understand the difference with leadership on the floor.
Definitely.
Like, and what Chicago had at that time was, when Jordan was on the floor and he was on and he was hot, he made everybody else great. He made everybody else step up. Yeah. So, but that's my issue with key players now. They don't get everybody involved and make everybody step. LeBron, great player. And he's a leader, but he does not. He doesn't get the team fully involved.
He kicks everybody back in when things ain't going his way.
Right. He give up, and then you can't win a game by yourself. Facts, you can't. You gotta get everybody involved, man. And Jordan made Pippen be the player that he is. You know what I'm saying?
Say that again.
He made Pippen. That's facts. B.J. Armstrong was on when he was there. Steve Kerr. You know what I'm saying? Cartwright, all of them. He made everybody step up. And he was just, he pulled.
Was good though, too, though.
Yeah, I mean, so was Kerr. But they were shooting wide open threes because everybody was open. Everybody was double teaming Jordan. Right. Because they was wide open at the top of the key.
So Jordan knew how to use everybody on the team, get everybody involved. Everybody didn't have to be a scorer. So some cats, your thing is defense. You meant for the setup, swing, all of that or whatever. These people now, they don't, like LeBron and these cats, they haven't captured that, or maybe just don't have that ability. That's like, I remember when Boston had who they had? They had Ray Allen, Paul Pierce,
Pierce,
they had all the
Garnett.
guys. Yeah, but nobody was a leader.
Nope.
You got all of that. Nobody wanted to step up. They were playing polite ball. Nobody wanted to step up. I felt like that about Miami, even with D Wade and LeBron and Bosh and them. Great people, but nobody was leading.
Yeah, D Wade, and that's what I told a lot of people. I love D Wade. I'm not a Miami fan, of course. Knicks fans, not really Miami fans, but I've always been a fan of D Wade. Yeah, I've liked his game since he played with Marquette. Yeah, I liked how he came. I like how he is, and I like how he stepped back to allow Shaq to be who he needed to be. Yeah. And I loved how he stepped back. Everybody want to say whatever they want to say. He could have still been a top scorer and all that type of stuff, but he had to step back to let LeBron shine because LeBron could not step back. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, definitely. Like he that first year when he was there, they were having a hard time gelling because they were all still trying to play their game. Right. So D Wade stepped back. And you knew he stepped back because when LeBron didn't play or LeBron was hurt or LeBron was out, D Wade can still score 50. Yeah, you know what I mean, like without a sweat.
But D Wade wanted to step back too because if you remember from when he had the shoulder injury, his game changed.
He needed to a little bit.
He was fearful. Like you would see him go in and the guys would come up and jump and he would like shop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he was hesitant. So when you got players of that caliber to come in and take the pressure off of you, it's easier for you to step back and say, okay, bam, bam. Now, but that's smart ball though. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But not a lot of players do that. The only other time I remember seeing that pretty evident is when San Antonio, when they had the Twin Towers.
Facts.
Yes, because David Robinson was still the truth.
Yeah.
He stepped way back to allow Duncan to shine.
Absolutely.
And when
I
Duncan,
met David Robinson in the airport a couple months ago.
I think I
down
loved
one
him.
of the coolest athletes I ever met in my life. I love him. He's real.
Yeah.
I spent about 20 minutes with him. We was hanging out waiting for a baggage claim. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's cool. And
he's cool to death. Yeah, I love that guy.
And he really allowed him to step up, because also when he went out, I was shocked, because the people were saying how Robinson game had fallen off and all that. But when Duncan was out, Robinson still could drop 50. And that's the thing, is like, that's when you realize that this is game. It's more about
Man, fading over here.
Yeah. it's more to it than just it's more to it than just having a great game. You got to be able to see when things need to adjust, and that's what I like about Curry today.
Yeah, yes.
Curry has definitely stepped his game back to allow Durant to be who he is. Don't get twisted; he's still great. Yeah, but he could be what you see today.
Right, and he don't have to be the one doing that. You know what I'm saying?
And he's okay with it.
Yeah.
And that's a sign of a great player. He took less money to allow Durant to even come. So people don't speak on that. Right. People try to put them against each other, but he's always been the bigger person in a lot of this. So I love players like that. So
yo, this is good.
I know we a little bit over too, and I see Pam about to fall out.
Yo, the struggle real with Pam Jam. Yeah.
For a minute, I was struggling. I was like, Jesus, I'm really tired tonight.
Pam was like, Larry Bird is my favorite. Yes. Like what?
You know what? Before we get out of here, though, y'all already know what y'all heard tonight. I told y'all JB on sports. It was really good because her.
Good talk, JB.
Because Pastor and I can't go back and forth with JB like that. But Chi tonight, you have no idea. JB was in. And y'all know it. I'm telling
you. She was in when you got her voice to change.
Yeah.
She hit a hot pitch on me.
Yes.
And what?
It was really good. Yo, for real. Yo, Chichi, before we get out of here, I want to talk about I want you to just please let people know what you got going on coming up for your birthday bash.
Oh,
coming up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, somebody.
Well, first of all, it is a blessing that the Lord has allowed me to see 40, shorty. Yeah. Yeah, the big 40. So, we doing it big.
Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Thank you. My actual birthday was yesterday. Yeah. But the celebration, we had a 2-day celebration going on this weekend coming up. Okay. Friday the 31st. Mm-hmm. We're going to be at Loft Life, downtown Newark, right across the street from Prudential Center.
So where is it? Do you know the address, the exact address?
Yep, it's 53 Edison Place.
Okay.
Yep, 53 Edison Place at Loft Life. Down there, we're going to be down there. Doors open at 7. We jump at 7:30. And we in there till they put us out of there. You know what I'm saying? It's going down. We're going to have a good time. Got a lot of, surprises for y'all. A lot of fun. Live band. Live DJ. DJ Embreeze is going to be in the building. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got the band, and they're going to be in the building doing a crazy set featuring Steve Avell and TL. And it's going to be dope.
Open to the
okay. It's open to everybody. It's open to everybody. And your girl is also going to be in the building. Who that is?
Yes.
Pam Jam, the one and the only, the legend herself. Yep. Pam will be in the building. It's going to be going down. We so excited. It's an 80s, 90s theme. So, come dressed in your 80s, 90s. I want to see bamboo earrings.
Dope. Come on.
At least 2 pair.
I want to see at least 2 pair, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm trying to see haircuts, you know what I'm saying? The little asymmetric joints, Gumbies, bring it all out. You know what I'm saying? Cross colors. All of that stuff. Bring it out. We gotta have a good time. Yeah, like I said, DJ Embreeze is gonna be in the building. Phenomenal DJ, and we're gonna go in. We have a good time. It's also my EP release. It's the birthday party / EP
congratulations.
Release. Thank you. Hey.
Yes,
JB. Yeah, gonna be releasing the new EP. So, come on in. It's $40 for the entrance. That includes admission, catered food, and a copy of the project. You know what I'm saying? So, you're getting all that. 40 years, $40. Let's do it.
Come on, somebody.
Package deal.
Year. That's a good deal.
That's a good deal. That's a good deal.
That's good.
And then on Saturday, the following day, because one day is not enough. It's a monumental number. One day is not enough.
I ain't mad at you.
So the party on Friday night, May 31st. Then on Saturday, June 1st, guess what I'm doing?
What you doing?
I'm jumping out of a doggone plane.
Come on.
From 10,000 feet in the air. Yes, I am. 10,000 feet in the air. I'm going to put my life in Jesus' hands.
And jump.
And I'm going to jump. and either it's going to turn out real good or real bad.
It's going to turn out real good.
You know what I'm saying? It's only two things that can happen. Come on, somebody. It's going to turn out phenomenal. It's a landing party, skydive landing party. We're going to jump, land, and grab the mic and just go wild out. It's going to be in Pittstown, New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? At the Alexandria Airfield. It's going to be dope. We land. It's going to be carnival style for the family. You know, games, food, fun. You know what I'm saying? DJ Sean going to be in the building. You know what I mean? And we just going to have a good time.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? I'm also going to perform on that day as well. And like I said, you know, we're going to have a good time. 2 days. We're just going to celebrate. It's a 2-day event. Come on out. Y'all can hit me up for information. My flyers on my Facebook page. You know, I got my government name up there, Anise Robinson.
Yes.
ANISE. You know what I'm saying? Go there. You know, you can get the information. Hit me up. Book Chi at Yahoo is the email. You can send, you know, you can reach out there if you need some info and whatever. Just come on in. You can pay at the door. There's no cost for Saturday. And just come on out and, you know, have a good time for the family, bring the kids and stuff. Friday night, you know, it's not a kid event, but, you know, come on out and let's do the thing. You know what I'm saying? You can pay at the door or you can pay in advance. You can hit me on Cash App, Chi36. You know what I'm saying? Put your $1 billion in there and bless the sister for her birthday going. I'm waiting. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear them coins. You know, when Cash App, when your money come in, a little coin.
When it go off. Yes, come on.
You know what I'm saying? So come on out and celebrate with your girl.
That's dope. You know what? Yeah, Cheech. So I'm looking. I know so many of us are looking forward to it.
Yes.
And listen, I know Norm. Thank you for just the extra time on tonight. Yo, listen. This is Pam's World. We love y'all. Your girl is so tired right now. I promise you. For a minute, Chi caught me. I started really I was just like, whoa. I was like, dog, I'm really, really tired. Yo, I feel a little fried, but thank God. You know what I mean? We here. And the Lord has gotten us through another Pam's World. Yes, thank y'all. We love y'all. We appreciate every comment. Thank God for y'all. And please have an amazing, amazing rest of the night. If you don't know anything else, please know that Jesus loves you. And and it's not just something that I'm saying. Like, he really loves you. And he wants to show you his love. And all you got to do is receive it. All right, y'all.
See you Friday, Saturday.
Yes, see you Friday, Saturday. Come on, y'all. Love y'all. Good night.
Love y'all. God bless.
Yeah.